Goes out.
Uncle, the rumor of witchcraft is all about. I think you'd best go down and deny it yourself. The parlor's packed with people, sir. I'll sit with her.
And what shall I say to them? That my daughter and my niece I discovered dancing like heathen in the forest?
Uncle, we did dance. Let you tell them I confessed it. But they're speaking of witchcraft. Betty's not witched.
Abigail, I cannot go before the congregation when I know you have not opened with me. What did you do with her in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle. And when you leaped out of the bush so suddenly, Betty was frightened and then she fainted, and that's the whole of it.
Child, sit you down.
I would never hurt Betty. I love her dearly.
Now look, you child. I have no desire to punish you. That will come in its time. But if you trafficked with spirits in the forest, I must know it. For surely my enemies will, and they will ruin me with it.
But we never conjured spirits.
Then why can't she move herself since midnight? This child is desperate. It must come out. My enemies will bring it out. Let me know what you have done there. Abigail, do you understand that I have many enemies?
I know it, Uncle.
There is a faction that is sworn to drive me from my pulpit. Do you understand that?
I think so, sir.
Now then, in the midst of such disruption, my own household is discovered to be the very center of some obscene practice. Abominations are done in the forest.
They were only sport, Uncle.
I saw Tituba waving her arms over the fire when I came on you. Why was she doing that? And I heard a screeching and gibberish coming from her mouth.
She always sings her Barbados songs and we dance.
I cannot blink what I saw, Abigail, for my enemies will not blink it. I saw a dress lying in the grass.
A dress?
Aye, a dress. And I thought I saw someone naked running through the forest.
No one was naked. You mistake yourself, Uncle.
I saw it. Now tell me true, Abigail. Now my ministry's at stake. My ministry and perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abominations you have done, give me all of it now, for I dare not be taken unaware when I go before them down there.
There is nothing more. I swear it, Uncle.
Abigail, I have fought here 3 long years to bend these stiff-necked people to me. And now, just now, when there must be some good respect for me in the parish, you compromise my very character. I have given you a home, child. I have put clothes upon your back. Now give me upright answer. Your name in the town. It is entirely white, is it not?
Why, I am sure it is, sir. There be no blush about my name.
Abigail, is there any other cause that you have told me for Goody Proctor discharging you? It has troubled me that you are now 7 months out of their house, and in all this time, no other family has ever called for your service.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. I will not black my face for any of them.
Enter Miss Ann Putnam.
No, I cannot have anyone. Why, Goody Putnam, come in.
It is a marvel. It is surely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, Goody Putnam, it is...
How high did she fly? How high?
No, she never flew.
Why, it's sure she did. Mr. Collins saw her going over Ingersoll's barn and come down light as bird, he says.
Now look you, Goody Putnam, she never...
Enter Thomas Putnam.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Putnam.
It is a providence the thing is out now. It is a providence.
What's out, sir? What's...
Why, her eyes is closed, look you, Anne.
Why, that's strange. Ours is open.
Your little Ruth is sick?
I'd not call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, you know. It's death driving into them forked and hooved.
No, pray not. Why? How does your child ail?
She ails as she must. She never waked this morning, but her eyes open and she walks and hears not, sees not, and cannot eat. Her soul is taken, surely.
They say you've sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly.
A precaution only. He has much experience in all demonic arts, and I...
He has indeed, and found a witch in Beverly last year, and let you remember that.
Now, Goody Ann, the only thought that were a witch, am I certain there be no element of witchcraft here?
No witchcraft. Now look you, Mr. Paris.
Thomas, I pray you, leap not to witchcraft. I know that you least of all, Thomas, would ever wish so disastrous a charge laid upon me. We cannot leap to witchcraft. They will howl me out of Salem for such corruption in my house.
Now look you, Mr. Paris. I have taken your part in all contention here, and I would continue. But I cannot if you hold back in this. There are hurtful, vengeful spirits laying hands on these children.
But, Thomas, you cannot.
And tell Mr. Paris what you have done.
Reverend Paris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in the earth. Believe me, sir, you never saw more hardy babies born. And yet each would wither in my arms the very night of their birth. I have spoken nothing, but my heart has clamored intimations. And now this year, my Ruth, my only, I see her turning strange. A secret child she has become this year, and shrivels like a sucking mouth. We're pulling on her life too. And so I thought to send her to your Tituba.
Tituba? What made Tituba?
Tituba knows how to speak to the dead, Mr. Paris.
Goody Ann, it is a formidable sin to conjure up the dead.
I take it on my soul. But who else may surely tell us what person murdered my babies?
Woman!
They were murdered, Mr. Paris. And mark this proof. Mark it. Last night, my Ruth were ever so close to their little spirits. I know it, sir. For how else is she struck dumb now, except some power of darkness would stop her mouth? It is a marvelous sign, Mr. Paris.
Don't you understand it, sir? There is a murdering witch among us bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will, but you cannot link it more.
Then you were conjuring spirits last night. Abigail.
Not I, sir, not I. Tituba and Ruth.
Now I am undone.
You are not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You have discovered witchcraft.
In my house? In my house, Thomas. They will topple me with this. They will make of it a...
Enter Mercy Lewis.
Your pardons. I only thought to see how Betty is.
Why aren't you home? Who's with Ruth?
Her grandma come. She's improved a little, I think. She gave a powerful sneeze.
Ah, there's a sign of life.
I fear no more, Goody Putnam. It were a grand sneeze. Another like that will shake her wits altogether, I'm sure.
Will you leave me now, Thomas? I would pray a while alone.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why do you not go down and
No.
address...
No, I'll wait till Mr. Hale arrives.
Now look you, sir. Let you strike out against the devil in the village will bless you for it. Come down, speak to them, pray with them. They're thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you'll pray with them.
I have no stomach for disputation this morning. I will lead them in a psalm, but let you say nothing of witchcraft here. I will not discuss it. The cause is yet unknown. I have had enough contention since I came. I want no more.
Putnam crosses and exits.
Mercy, you go home to Ruth, do you hear?
Hi, Mom.
If she starts for the window, cry for me at once.
Yes, Uncle.
There is a terrible power in her arms today.
Goes out with Putnam.
How is Ruth sick?
It's weirdish. I know not. She seems to walk like the dead one since last night.
Betty? Now stop this, Betty! Sit up now!
Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a good one the other night, and I waked her for a minute. Here, let me have her.
No, he'll be coming up. Now look you, if they become question us, tell them we danced. I told him as much already.
And what more?
He saw you naked.
Oh, Jesus.
Well,
Mary
the
enters.
whole village is out.
What do we do?
I just come from the farm. The whole county's talking witchcraft. They'll be calling us witches, Abby.
They be calling us witches, Abby. She means to tell. I know it.
Abby, we've got to tell it. Witches hanging, error a hanging, like they done in Boston 2 years ago. We must tell the truth, Abby. You'll only be whipped for dancing and the other things.
Oh, we'll be whipped.
I never done any of it, Abby. I only looked.
Oh, you're a great one for looking, aren't you, Mary Warren?
Betty? Now, Betty, dear, wake up now. It's Abigail.
She sits Betty up, fiercely shakes her.
I'll beat you, Betty. My, you seem improving. I talked to your papa and I told him everything, so there's nothing to be afraid of.
I want my mama.
What ails you, Betty? Your mama's dead and buried.
I'll fly to Mom. I'll fly to her.
Raises her arms as though to fly. Mercy and Abigail thrust them down.
I told him everything. He knows now. He knows everything. We'll be fine.
Drink blood, Abby.
Betty, you never say that again. You will never utter that again.
You did. You drank a charm to kill John Proctor's wife. You drank a charm to kill Goody Proctor.
Slaps her face.
Shut it. Now, shut it.
Mama. Mama.
Now look, you, all of you. We danced, and Tituba conjured Ruth Putnam's dead sisters, and that is all. And mark this. Let either of you breathe a word or the edge of a word about the other things, and I will come to you in the black of some terrible night, and I will bring a pointy reckoning that will shudder you. And you know I can do it. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads on the pillows next to mine, and I have seen some reddish work done at night, and I can make you wish you had never seen the sun go down. Now you, sit up and stop this.
What's got her, Abby? She's gonna die. It's a sin to conjure, and we conjure.
I say shut it, Mary Warren.
Enter John Proctor.
Oh, I'm just going home, Mr. Proctor.
Foolish Mary Warren, be you deaf? I forbid you to leave the house, did I not? Why shall I pay you? I am looking for you more often than my cows.
I only come to see the great doings in the world.
I'll show you a great doing on your arse one of these days. Now get you home.
Mary
My wife
Proctor.
is waiting with your work.
I best be off. I have my Ruth to watch. Good morning, Mr. Proctor.
Mercy leaves.
She's only gone silly somehow. She'll come out of it.
So she flies, eh? Where are her wings?
Oh, John, sure you're not believing she flies.
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The town's mumbling witchcraft.
Oh, posh. We were dancing in the woods last night and my uncle leaped in on us. She took fright is all.
Dancing by the moonlight. You'll be clapped in the stocks before you're 20.
Give me a word, John. A soft word.
No, Abby, I've not come for that.
You come 5 miles to see a silly girl fly? I know you better.
Come to see what mischief your uncle's brewing now. Put it out of mind, Abby.
John, I am waiting for you every night.
You'll put it out of mind. I'll not be coming for you more.
You're surely sporting with me.
You know me better.
I know how you clutched my back behind your house and sweated like a stallion whenever I come near. I saw your face when she put me out, and you loved me then, and you do now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing may say wild things. I have seen you since she put me out. I have seen you nights.
I have Hardly stepped off my farm this 7 month.
I have a sense for heat, John, and yours has drawn me to my window. Do you tell me you've never looked up at my window?
Perhaps I have.
I know you, John. I know you. I cannot sleep for dreaming. I cannot dream but wake and walk about the house as though I find you coming through some door.
Child.
How do you call me child?
Abby, I may think of you softly from time to time, but I will cut off my hand before I'll ever reach for you again. Wipe it out of my... We never touched, Abby.
Aye, but we did.
Aye, but we did not.
Oh, I marvel how such a strong man may let such a sickly wife be so.
Speak nothing of Elizabeth.
She is blackening my name in the village. She is telling lies about me. She is a cold, sniveling woman, and you bend to her, let you turn her like a... I look for John Proctor that put knowledge in my heart. I never knew what pretense Salem was. I never knew the lying lessons I was taught by all these Christian women and their covenanted men. And now you bid me tear the light out of my eyes? I will not. I cannot. You loved me, John Proctor, and whatever sin it is, you love me yet. John, pity me. Pity me.
The word Jehovah is heard in the psalm outside. Betty claps her ears suddenly and whines loudly.
Betty?
She heard
Betty!
Abigail is trying to pull Betty's hands down. Proctor's growing unnerved, calling. Paris rushes in.
What happened? What are you doing to her? Betty!
She heard you singing and suddenly she's up and screaming.
The psalm. The psalm. She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
No, God forbid.
Mark it for a sign. Mark it.
Rebecca, nurse, enters.
That is a notorious sign of witchcraft afoot, a prodigious sign.
My mother told me that. When they cannot bear to hear the name of God.
Rebecca, come to her. We're lost. She suddenly cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
Giles Corey enters.
There's a hard sickness here, Giles Corey, so please to keep the quiet.
I've not said a word. No one here can testify I've said a word. Is she going to fly again? I hear she flies.
Man, be quiet now.
What have you done?
Pray, calm yourselves. I have 11 children, and I am 26 times a grandma. I've seen them all through their silly seasons, and when it come on them, they will run the devil bow-legged keeping up with their mischief. I think she'll wake when she tires of it. A child's spirit is like a child. You can never catch it by running after it. You must stand still. And for love, it will soon itself come back.
Aye, that's the truth of it, Rebecca.
This is no silly season, Rebecca. My Ruth is bewildered, Rebecca. She cannot eat.
Perhaps she is not hungered yet. Mr. Paris, I hope you are not decided to go in search of loose spirits. I've heard promise of that outside.
I've wide opinions running in the parish that the devil may be among us, and I would satisfy them that they are wrong.
Then let you come out and call them wrong.
Rebecca,
Are you our minister or Mr. Hale? Did you consult the wardens of the church before you called this minister to look for devils?
He is not coming to look for devils.
Then what's he coming for?
There be children dying in the village, mister.
I see none dying.
Pray, John, be calm. Mr. Paris, I think you'd best send Reverend. This will settle argument again in society, and we thought to have peace this year. I think we ought rely on Dr. Griggs now and good prayer.
Rebecca, the doctor's baffled.
If so he is, then let us go to God for the cause of it. There is a prodigious danger in the seeking of loose spirits. I fear it. I fear it. Let us rather blame ourselves And then we won't.
How may we blame ourselves? I am one of 9 sons. The Putnam seed have peopled this province. And yet I have but one child left of 8. And now she shrivels.
I cannot fathom that.
You think it God's work? You should never lose a child nor a grandchild either. And I bury all but one?
When Reverend Hale comes, you will proceed to look for signs of witchcraft here.
Cannot command, Mr. Paris. We vote by name in this society, not by acreage.
I never heard you worried so on this society, Mr. Proctor. I do think I saw you at Sabbath meeting since snow flew.
I have trouble enough without I come 5 mile to hear him preach only hellfire and bloody damnation. There are many others who stay away from church these days because he hardly ever mentioned God anymore.
Why, that's a drastic charge.
It's somewhat true. There are many that quail to bring their children to church.
Do not preach for children, Rebecca. It is not the children who are unmindful of their obligations towards the ministry. Where is my wood? My contract provides I be supplied with all my firewood. I am waiting since November for a stick, and even in November, I had to show my frostbitten hands like some London beggar.
You are allowed £6 a year to buy your wood, Mr. Paris.
I am paid little enough without I spent £6 on firewood. The salary is £66, Mr. Proctor. I am not some preaching farmer with a book under my arm. I am a graduate of Harvard College.
Aye, and well instructed in mathematics.
Mr. Corey, you will look far for a man of my kind at £60 a year. I am not used to this poverty. I left a thrifty business in the Barbados to serve the Lord. I do not fathom. Why am I persecuted here? I cannot offer one proposition, but there be a howling riot of argument. I have often wondered if the devil be in it somewhere. I cannot understand you people otherwise.
Mr. Paris, you're the first minister ever did demand the deed to this house.
I am your 3rd preacher in 7 years. I do not wish to be put out like the cat whenever some majority feels the whim. You people seem to not comprehend that a minister is the Lord's man to the parish. A minister is not to be so lightly crossed and contradicted.
Aye.
There is either obedience or the church will burn like hell is burning.
Can you speak 1 minute without we land in hell again? I am sick of hell.
It is not for you to say what is good for you to fear.
I may speak my heart, I think.
What? Are we Quakers? We are not Quakers here yet, Mr. Proctor, and you may tell that to your followers.
My followers?
There is a party in this church. I am not blind. There is a faction and a party.
Against you?
Against him and all authority.
Why then, I must find it and join it.
He does not mean that.
I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I like not the smell of this authority. I have a crop to sow and lumber to drag home. What say you, Giles? Let's find that party. He says there's a party.
I've changed my opinion of this man. Mr. Paris, I beg your pardon. I never thought you had so much iron in you.
Why, thank you, Giles.
It suggests to the mind what the trouble be among us all these years. Think on it. Wherefore is everybody suing everybody else? I have been 6 times in court this year.
It is the devil's fault that a man cannot say you good morning without you clap him for defamation. You're old, Giles, and you're not hearing as well as you did.
John Proctor, I have only last month collected £4 damages for you publicly saying I burned the roof off your house. And I
never said no such thing, but I paid you for it. So I hope I can call you deaf without charge. Come along, Giles. Help me drag my lumber home.
I'll be damned first.
A moment, Mr. Proctor. What lumber is that you're dragging home, if I may ask?
My lumber? From out my forest by the riverside?
Why, we are surely gone wild this year. What anarchy is this? That tract is in my bounds. It's in my bounds, Mr. Proctor.
Your bounds. I bought that tract from Goody Nurse's husband 5 months ago.
He had no right to sell it. It stands clear in my grandfather's will that all the land between the river and the farm.
Your grandfather had a habit of willing land that never belonged to him, if I may say it plain.
That's God's truth. He nearly willed away my north pasture, but he knew I'd break his fingers before he set his name to it. Let's get your lumber home, John. I feel a sudden will to work coming on.
You load one oak of mine, and you'll fight to drag it home.
Aye, and we'll win too, Putnam. This fool and I. Come on.
I'll have my men on you, Corey. I'll clap a writ on you.
Enter Reverend John Hale.
Pray you, someone take these.
Mr. Hale, oh, it's good to see you again. My, they're heavy.
They must be. They are weighted with authority.
Well, you do come prepared.
We shall need hard study if it comes to tracking down the old boy. You cannot be Rebecca Nurse?
I am, sir. Do you know me?
It's strange how I know you, but I suppose you look as such a good soul should. We have all heard of your great charities in Beverly.
You know this gentleman, Mr. Thomas Putnam, and his good wife, Anne?
Putnam, I had not expected such distinguished company, sir.
It does not seem to help us today, Mr. Hale. We look to you to come to our house and save our child.
Your child ails too?
Her soul seems flown away. She sleeps and yet she walks.
She cannot eat.
Cannot eat? Do you men also have afflicted children?
No, these are farmers. John Proctor.
You don't believe in witches.
I never spoke on witches one way or the other. Will you come, Giles?
No, John, I think not. I have some few queer questions of my own to ask this fellow.
I've heard you be a sensible man, Mr. Hale. I hope you'll leave some of it in Salem.
Proctor goes out.
Will you look at my daughter, sir? She has tried to leap out the window. We discovered her this morning on the high road, waving her arms as though she'd fly.
Tries to fly?
She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name, Mr. Hale. That's a sure sign of witchcraft afloat.
No. Now let me instruct you. We cannot look to superstition in this. The devil is precise. The marks of his presence are definite as stone, and we must look only for his proper signs and judge nothing beforehand. And I must tell you all that I shall not proceed unless you are prepared to believe me if I should find no trace of hell in this.
It is agreed, sir. It is agreed. We will abide by your judgment.
Good then. Now, sir, what were you first warning of this strangeness?
Why, sir, I discovered her and my niece, Abigail, and 10 or 12 of the other girls dancing in the forest last night.
You permit dancing?
No, it were secret.
Mr. Paris' slave has knowledge of conjuring, sir.
We cannot be sure of that, Goody Ann.
I know it, sir. I sent my child. She should learn from Tituba, who murdered her sisters.
Hey, Anne! You sent a child to conjure up the dead?
Let God blame me, not you. Not you, Rebecca. I'll not have you judging me anymore. Mr. Hale, is it a natural work to lose 7 children before they live a day?
Shh.
7 dead in childbirth?
What book is that?
What's there, sir?
Here is all the invisible world, caught, defined, and calculated. In these books, the devil stands stripped of all his brute disguises. Here are all your familiar spirits, your incubi and succubi, your witches that go by land, by air, and by sea, your wizards of the night and of the day. Have no fear now. We shall find him out if he has come among us, and I mean to crush him utterly if he has shown his face.
Will it hurt the child, sir?
I cannot tell. If she is truly in the devil's grip, we may have to rip and tear to get her free.
I I think I'll go then. I'm too old for this.
Why, Rebecca, we may open the boil of all our troubles today.
Let's hope for that. I go to God for you, sir.
I hope you do not mean we go to Satan here.
I wish I knew.
She goes out.
Come, Mr. Hale. Let's go on and sit you here.
Mr. Hale, I have always wanted to ask a learned man, what signifies the reading of strange books?
What books?
I cannot tell. She hides them.
Who does this?
Martha, my wife. I have waked at night many times and found her in a corner reading of a book. Now, what do you make of that?
Why, that's not necessarily...
This comforts me. Last night, mark this, I tried and could not say my prayers. And then she closed her book and walks out of the house, and suddenly, mark this, I could pray again.
Ah, the stoppage of prayer. That is strange. I'd like to speak further on that with you.
I'm not saying she's touched the devil now, but I'd admire to know what books she reads and why she hides them. She'll not answer me, you see.
Aye, we'll discuss it. Now mark me, if the devil is in her, you will witness some frightful wonders in this room. So please, to keep your wits about you, Mr. Putnam, stand close in case she flies. Now, Betty, dear, will you sit up? Can you hear me? I am John Hale, minister of Beverly. I have come to help you, dear. Do you remember my 2 little girls in Beverly?
How can it be the devil? Why would he choose my house to strike?
What victory would the devil have to win a soul already had? It is the best the devil wants, and who is better than the minister?
That's deep, Mr. Paris, deep.
Does someone afflict you, child? It need not be a woman, mind you, or a man. Perhaps some bird invisible to others comes to you, perhaps a pig or any beast at all. Is there some figure bids you fly? In nomine Domine Sabaoth soi filec ate ade infernos. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing with her in the forest?
Why, common dancing is all.
I think I ought to say that I saw a kettle in the grass where they were dancing.
That were only soup.
Soup? What sort of soup were in this kettle, Abigail?
Why, it were beans and lentils, I think, and...
Mr. Paris, you did not notice, did you? Any living thing in the kettle? A mouse, perhaps, a spider, a frog.
That frog jumped in. We never put it in.
A frog, Abby!
We never put it in.
Abigail, it may be your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last night?
I never called him. Tituba called him.
She called the devil.
I should like to speak to this Tituba.
Takes Anne to door and returns as she goes out.
Goody Anne, will you bring her up?
How did she call him?
I know not. She spoke Barbados.
Did you feel any strangeness when she called him? A sudden cold wind, perhaps? A trembling below the ground?
I didn't see no devil. Betty, wake up! Betty! Betty!
You cannot evade me, Abigail. Did your cousin drink any of the brew in that kettle?
She never drank it.
Did you drink it?
No, sir.
Did Tituba ask you to drink it?
She tried, but I refused.
Why are you concealing? Have you sold yourself to Lucifer?
I never sold myself. I'm a good girl.
Anne enters with Tituba.
I did drink of the kettle. She made me do it. She made Betty do it. She makes me drink blood.
Blood!
My baby's blood?
Woman, have you enlisted these children for the devil? Why can she not wake? Are you silencing this child? You have sent your spirit out upon this child, have you not? Are you gathering souls for the devil?
She sent her spirit on me in church. She makes me laugh at prayer.
She have often laughed at prayer.
She comes to me every night to go and drink blood. I'll tell you something. She comes to me while I sleep. She always making me dream corruptions. Sometimes I wake and find myself standing in the open doorway and not a stitch on my body. I always hear her laughing in my sleep. I hear her singing her Barbados songs and tempting me with...
Tituba, I want you to wake this child. You most certainly do, and you will lose her from it now. When did you compact with the devil?
You will confess yourself, or I will take you out and whip you to your death, Tituba.
This woman must be hanged. She must be taken and hanged.
Who? The devil? Now, Tituba, I know that when we bind ourselves to hell, it is very hard to break with it entirely. Now, we are going to help you tear yourself free. You would be a good Christian woman, would you not, Tituba? And you love these little children? And you love God, Tituba? Now, in God's holy name, and to his glory, open yourself, Tituba. Open yourself and let God's holy light shine on you. When the devil comes to you, does he ever come with another person? Perhaps another person in the village, someone you know.
Who came with him?
Sarah Good? Did you ever see Sarah Good with him? Or Osborne?
Was it man or woman came with him?
Was a woman.
What woman? A woman, you said. What woman?
It was a black dark, and I...
You could see him. Why could you not see her?
Well, they was always talking, and they was always running around and carrying on.
You mean out of Salem? Salem witches?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
Tituba, you must have no fear to tell us who they are. Do you understand? We will protect you. The devil can never overcome a minister. You know that, do you not?
Aye, sir. Oh, I do.
You have confessed yourself to witchcraft, and that speaks a wish to come to heaven's side, and we will bless you, Tituba.
Oh, God bless you, Mr. Hale.
You are God's instrument, put in our hands to discover the devil's agents among us. You are selected, Tituba. You are chosen to help us cleanse our village. So speak utterly, Tituba. Turn your back on him and face God. Face God, Tituba, and God will protect you.
Oh, God, protect Tituba.
Who came to you with the devil? 2, 3, 4? How many?
There was 4. There was 4.
Who? Who? Their names. Their names.
Oh, how many times he bid me kill you, Mr. Paris?
Kill me.
He say, Mr. Paris must be killed. Mr. Paris no goodly man. Mr. Paris mean and no gentleman. And he bids me rise out of my bed and cut your throat. I tell him, no, I don't hate that man. I don't kill that man. But he say, you work for me, Tituba, and I make you free. I give you pretty dress to wear and put you high up in the air, and you gonna fly to Barbados. And I say, you lie. You lie, devil, you lie. Then he come one stormy night to me, and he say, look, I have white people belong to me. And I look, and there was Goody Good.
Sarah Good.
I, Goody Osborne.
I knew it! Goody Osborne were midwife to me 3 times. I begged you, Thomas, did I not? I begged him not to call Osborne because I feared her. My baby's always shriveled in her hands.
Take courage. You must give us all their names. How can you bear to see these children suffering? Look at their God-given innocence. Their souls are so tender. We must protect them, Tituba. The devil is out and preying on them like a beast upon the flesh of the pure lamb. God will bless you for your help.
I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil. I saw him. I wrote in his book. I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil.
I saw George Jacobs with the devil. I saw Goody Hale with the devil.
She speaks. She speaks.
Glory to God. It is broken. They are free.
I saw Martha Bellows with the devil.
I saw Goody Sibber with the devil.
The marshal. I'll call the marshal.
Let the marshal bring irons.
I saw Alice Barrow with the devil.
With the devil.
Pike with the devil.
I saw Mr. Barton with the devil.
I saw Goody Cobb with the devil.
I saw Goody Franklin with the devil.
I saw Goody Hopper with the devil.
Curtain falls. Scene 2. Proctor's house, 8 days later. Proctor leans against a bench, and Elizabeth is heard singing softly to the children. Proctor enters.
What keeps you so late? It's almost dark.
We're planning far out to the forest edge.
Oh, you're done then?
Aye, farm is seeded. Boys asleep?
They will be soon.
Pray now for a fair summer.
Aye.
Are you well today?
I am. It is a rabbit.
Oh, is it? In Jonathan's trap?
No, she walked into the house this afternoon.
Oh.
I found her sitting in the corner like she come to visit.
Oh, that's a good sign walking in.
Pray God. I heard my heart to strip her, poor rabbit.
Oh, it is well seasoned.
I took great care. She's tender?
Aye. I think we'll see green fields soon. It's warm as blood beneath the clods.
That's well.
If the crop is good, I'll buy George Jacobs' heifer. How would that please you?
Aye, it would.
I mean to please you, Elizabeth.
I know it, John.
Cider?
Aye, aye.
This farm's a continent when you go foot by foot, dropping seeds in it.
Oh, it must be.
On Sunday, let you come with me, and we'll walk the farm together. I never see such a load of flowers on the earth. Massachusetts is a beauty in the spring.
Aye, it is.
I think you're sad again. Are you?
You come so late, I thought you'd gone to Salem this afternoon.
Why, I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going earlier this week.
Oh, I thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why'd you let her? You heard me forbid her go to Salem anymore.
I couldn't stop her.
It is a fault. It is a fault. Elizabeth, you're the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
She frightened all my strength away.
It's... How may that mouse frighten you, Elizabeth? You?
It is no mouse no more. I forbid her to go, and she raises up her chin like the daughter of a prince and says to me, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I am an official of the court now.
Court? What court?
Aye, it is a proper court they have now. They've sent 4 judges out of Boston, she says, weighty magistrates of the general court, and at the head sits the deputy governor of the province.
She's mad.
I would to God she were. There'll be 14 people in jail now, she says. And they'll be tried. And the court have power to hang them too, she says.
They'd never hang.
The deputy governor promised hanging if they'll not confess, John. The town's gone wild, I think. Mary Warren speaks of Abigail as though she were a saint to hear her. She brings the other girls into the court, and where she walks, the crowd will part like the sea for Israel. And folks are brought before them. And if Abigail scream and howl and fall to the floor, the person's clapped in the jail for bewitching her.
Oh, it is black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem, John. I think so. You must tell them it is a fraud.
Aye, it is. It is, surely.
Let you go to Ezekiel Cheever. He knows you well. And tell him what she said to you last week in her uncle's house. She said it had naught to do with witchcraft, did she not?
She did. Aye, she did.
God forbid you keep that from the court, John. I think they must be told.
Aye, they must. They must. It is a wonder that they do believe her.
I would go to Salem now, John. Let you go tonight.
I'll think on it.
You cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I will think on it.
Good then. Let you think on it.
I'm only wondering how I may prove what she told me, Elizabeth. If the girl's a saint now, I think it is not easy to prove she's fraud, and the town gone so silly. She told it to me in a room alone. I have no proof for it.
You were alone with her?
For a moment alone, aye.
Why then? It is not as you told me.
For a moment, I say. The others come in soon after.
Do as you wish, then.
Woman, I'll not have your suspicion anymore.
I have no.
I'll not have it.
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet.
John, if it were not Abigail, then you must go to hurt. Would you falter now? I think not.
Now look.
I see what I see, John.
You will judge me no more. Elizabeth, I have good reason to think before I charge fraud on Abigail, and I will think on it. Let you look to your own improvement before you go to judge your husband anymore. I have forgot Abigail.
And I.
Bear me. You forgot nothing and forgive nothing. Learn charity, woman. I have gone tiptoe in this house all 7 months since she is gone. I have not moved from there to there without, I think, to please you, and still an everlasting funeral marches round your heart. I cannot speak, but I am doubted, every moment judged for lies, as though I come into a court when I come into this house.
John, you are not open with me. You saw her with a crowd, you said. Now you...
I'll plead my honesty no more, Elizabeth.
John, I am only...
No more! Should have roared you down when you first told me your suspicion, but I wilted. And like a Christian, I confessed. Some dream. I must have mistaken you for God that day, but you're not. You're not. But you remember it. Let you look sometime for the goodness in me, and judge me not.
I do not judge you. The magistrate sits in your heart that judges you. I never thought you but a good man, John, only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer.
Mary Warren enters.
How do you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you if you dare leave this house again.
I'm sick. I'm sick, Mr. Proctor. Pray do not hurt me. I've been in proceedings all day.
What of these proceedings here? When will you proceed to keep this house, as you are well paid £9 a year to do? And my wife not wholly well.
I made a gift for you today, Goody Proctor. I had to sit long hours in the chair and I passed it by sewing.
Why, thank you. It's a fair poppet.
We must all love each other now, Goody Proctor.
Aye, indeed we must.
I'll get up early in the morning and clean the house. I must sleep now.
Mary, is it true there be 14 women arrested?
No, sir. There be 39 now.
Why, she's weeping. What ails you, child?
Goody Osborne will hang.
Hang, you say?
Aye.
The deputy governor will permit it?
He sentenced her, he must. But not for Sarah Good. For Sarah Good confess, you see.
Confess to what?
That she sometime made a compact with Lucifer and wrote her name in his black book with her blood and bound herself to torment Christians till God thrown down. And we all must worship her for hell forevermore.
Surely you know what a jabberer she is. Did you tell them that?
Mr. Proctor, in open court, she near choked us all to death.
How choked you?
She sent her spirit out.
Oh, Mary, surely you...
Tried to kill me many times, Goody Proctor.
Why, I never heard you mention that before.
I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. When she come into court, I say to myself, I must not accuse this woman, for she sleeps in ditches and is so very old and poor. But then she sit there, denying and denying. And I feel a misty coldness climbing up my back. And the skin on my skull begin to creep. And a clamp round my neck and I cannot breathe air. And then I hear a voice, a screaming voice. And it were my voice. And all at once I remember everything she ever done to me.
Why? What did she do to you?
So many times, Mr. Proctor, she come to this very door begging bread and a cup of cider. And mark this, whenever I turned her away empty, she mumbled.
Mumble? She may mumble hungry.
But what does she mumble? You must remember, Goody Proctor. Last month, Monday, I think, she walked away and I thought my guts would burst for 2 days after. Do you remember it?
Why, I do, I think, but...
And so I told that to Judge Hawthorne, and he asked her so. Goody Proctor, say he, what curses do you mumble that this girl must fall sick? And then she replies, why, your excellence, no curses at all. Only my commandments. I hope I may say my commandments, says she.
And that's an upright answer.
Aye. But then Judge Hawthorne asked her so. Recite for us your commandments. And of all 10, she could not say a single one. She never knew no commandments. And they had her in a flat lie.
And so condemned her.
Why, they must when she condemned herself.
But the proof.
I told you the proof. It's hard proof. Hard as rock, the judges say.
You will not go to that court again, Mary Warren.
I must tell you, sir. I will be gone every day now. I am amazed you do not see the work we do.
What work you do? It's strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
But Mr. Proctor, they will not hang if they confess. Sarah Good will only sit in jail for some time. And here's a wonder for you. Think on this. Goody Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman's near to 60.
They had Dr. Griggs examine her and she is full to the brim. And smoking a pipe all these years and no husband either. But she's safe, thank God. For they will not hurt the innocent child. But be that not a marvel? You must see it, sir. It's God's work we do. So I'll be gone every day for some time. I'm an official of the court, they say. And
I'll official you.
I will not stand whipping anymore. The devil is loose in Salem, Mr. Proctor, and we must discover where he's hiding.
I'll whip the devil out of you.
I saved her life today.
I am accused?
You were somewhat mentioned, but I said I never see no sign that you ever sent your spirit out onto her, no one. And seeing I do live so closely with you, they dismissed it.
Who accused me?
I'm banned by law. I cannot tell it. I hope you'll be not so sarcastical to me anymore. 4 judges and the king's deputy sat down to dinner with us but an hour ago. I would have you speak civilly to me from now on. From this out.
Go to bed.
I'll be not ordered to bed no more, Mr. Proctor. I'm 18 and a woman, however single.
You wish to sit up, then sit up.
I want to go to bed.
Good night, then.
Good night.
She goes out.
Oh, the noose. The noose is up.
Be no noose.
She wants me dead. I knew all week it would come to this.
They dismissed it. You heard her say.
And what of tomorrow? She will cry me out until they take me.
Sit you down.
She wants me dead, John. You know it.
Say, sit you down. Now, we must be wise, Elizabeth.
Oh, indeed. Indeed.
Fear nothing. I'll find Ezekiel Cheever. I'll tell him she said it were all sport.
John, with so many in jail, more than that is needed now, I think, would you favor me with this? Go to Abigail.
What have I to say to Abigail?
John, grant me this. You have a faulty understanding of young girls. There is a promise made in any bed.
What promise?
Spoke or silent, a promise is surely made. And she may dote on it now, I am sure she does, and thinks to kill me, then to take my place. It is her dearest hope, John, I know it. There be 1,000 names. Why does she call mine? There be a certain danger in calling such a name. I am no goody-goody that sleeps in ditches, nor Osborne drunk and half-witted. She dare not call out such a farmer's wife, but there be monstrous profit in it. She thinks to take my place, John.
Cannot think it.
John, have you ever shown her somewhat of contempt? She cannot pass you in the church, but you will blush.
I may blush for my sin.
I think she sees another meaning in that blush.
And what see you? What see you, Elizabeth?
I think you be somewhat ashamed, for I am there and she so close.
When will you know me, woman? Were I a stone, I would have cracked for shame this 7 month.
Then go and tell her she's a whore. Whatever promise me she may sense, break it, John, break it.
Good then. I'll go.
Oh, how unwillingly.
I will curse her hotter than the oldest cinder in hell. Fear not, but pray, begrudge me not my anger.
Your anger. I only ask you.
Woman, am I so base? Do you truly think me base?
I never called you base.
Then how do you charge me with such a promise? The promise that a stallion gives a mare I gave that girl?
Then why do you anger with me when I bid you break it?
Because it speaks deceit, and I am honest. I'll plead no more. I see now your spirit twists around the single error of my life, and I will never tear it free.
You'll tear it free when you come to know that I will be your only wife, or no wife at all. She has an arrow in you yet, John Proctor, and you know it well.
Proctor starts to exit, but Hale appears.
Good evening.
Oh, Mr. Hale, good evening to you, sir. Come in, come in.
I hope I do not startle you.
No, it's only that I heard no horse.
You are good wife Proctor.
Aye, Elizabeth.
I hope you're not off to bed yet.
No. Let you come in, Mr. Hale. We are not used to visitors after dark, but you're welcome here. Will you sit you down, sir?
I will. Let you sit, good wife Proctor.
Will you drink cider, Mr. Hale?
No, it rebels my stomach. I have some further traveling yet tonight. Sit you down, sir. I will not keep you long, but I have some business with you.
Business of the court?
No, I come of my own, without the court's authority. Hear me, I know not if you are aware, but your wife's name is mentioned in the court.
We know it, sir. Our Mary Warren told us. We are entirely amazed.
I am a stranger here, as you know, and in my ignorance, I find it hard to draw a clear opinion of them that come accused before the court. And so this afternoon, and now tonight, I go from house to house. I come now from Rebecca Nurse's house, and
Rebecca's charged?
God forbid such a one be charged. She is, however, mentioned somewhat.
You will never believe, I hope, that Rebecca trafficked with the devil.
Woman, it is possible.
Surely you cannot think so.
This is a strange time, mister. No man may longer doubt the powers of the dark are gathered in monstrous attack upon this village. There is too much evidence now to deny it. You will agree, sir?
I have no knowledge in that line, but it's hard to think so pious a woman be secretly a devil's bitch after 70 years of such good prayer.
Aye, but the devil is a wily one. You cannot deny it. However, she is far from accused, and I know she will not be. I thought, sir, to put some questions as to the Christian character of this house, if you'll permit me.
We have no fear of questions, sir.
Good. In book, I note that you are rarely in the church on Sabbath day.
No, sir, you are mistaken.
Only 26th time in 17th month, sir. I must call that rare. Will you tell me why you are so absent?
Mr. Hale? I never knew I must account for that man, for I come to church or stay home. My wife were sick this winter.
So I am told. But you, mister, why could you not come alone?
I surely did not come when I could. I surely did come when I could. And when I could not, I prayed in the house.
Mr. Proctor, your house is not a church. Your theology must tell you that.
It does, sir. It does. And it tells me that a minister may pray to God without he have golden candlesticks upon the altar.
What golden candlesticks?
Since we built the church, there were pewter candlesticks upon the altar. Francis Nurse made them, you know. And a sweeter hand never touched the metal. But Paris came, and for 20 weeks, he preached nothing but golden candlesticks until he had them. I labor the earth from dawn of day to blink of night, and I tell you true, when I look to heaven and see my money glaring at his elbows, it hurt my prayer, sir. It hurt my prayer. I think sometimes the man dreams cathedrals, not clabbered meeting houses.
And yet, mister, a Christian on Sabbath day must be in church. Tell me, you have 3 children.
Aye, 3 boys.
How come it that only 2 are baptized?
I like it not that Mr. Parrish should lay his hand upon my baby. I see no light of God in that man. I'll not conceal it.
I must say it, Mr. Proctor, that is not for you to decide. The man's ordained, therefore the light of God is in him.
What's your suspicion, Mr. Hale?
No, I have no suspicion.
I nailed the roof upon the church. I hung the door.
Oh, did you? That's a good sign then.
It may be I have been too quick to bring the man to book, but you cannot think we ever desired the destruction of religion. I think that's in your mind, is it not?
There is a softness in your record, sir, a softness.
I think maybe we have been too hard with Mr. Parris. I think so. But sure, we never loved the devil here.
Do you know your commandments, Elizabeth?
I surely do. There be no mark of blame upon my life, Mr. Hale. I am a covenanted Christian woman.
And you, mister?
I am sure I do, sir.
Let you repeat them, if you will.
The commandments.
Aye.
Thou shalt not kill.
Aye.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, or make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Thou shalt honor thy father and mother. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
You have said that twice,
Aye.
sir.
Aye.
Adultery, John.
Aye. You see, sir, between the two of us, we do know them all. I think it be a small fault.
Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack in a fortress may be accounted small.
There be no love for Satan in this house.
I pray it. I pray it dearly. Well, then, I'll bid you good night.
Mr. Hale, I do think you are suspecting me somewhat, are you not?
Goody Proctor, I do not judge you. My duty is to add what I may to the godly wisdom of the court. I pray you both good health and good fortune. Good night, sir.
I think you must tell him, John.
What's that?
Will you tell him?
I have no witness and cannot prove it, except my word be taken, but I know the children's sickness had naught to do with witchcraft.
Not to...
They were discovered by Mr. Paris sporting in the woods. They were startled and took sick.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail?
Aye.
Abigail Williams said it had naught to do with witchcraft?
Told me the day you came, sir.
Why did you keep this?
I never knew until tonight that the world has gone daft with this nonsense.
Nonsense? Mister, I have myself examined Tituba, Sarah Good, and numerous others that have confessed to dealing with the devil. They have confessed it.
And why not? If they must hang for denying it, there are them that will swear to anything before they'll hang. Have you never thought of that?
I have. I have indeed. And would you testify to this in court?
I had not reckoned with going into court, but if I must, I will.
Ah, you falter there? I
falter nothing, but I may wonder if my story will be credited in such a court. I do wonder on it. When a minister as steady-minded as you will suspicion such a woman that never lied. She cannot lie, and the world knows she cannot. I may falter somewhat, mister. I am no fool.
Proctor, let you open with me now, for I have heard a thing that troubles me. It's said you hold no belief that there may even be witches in the world. Is that true, sir?
I know not what I have said. I may have said it. I have wondered if there be witches in the world.
Then you do not believe?
I have no knowledge of it. The Bible speaks of witches, and I will not deny them.
And you, woman?
I cannot believe it.
You cannot?
Elizabeth, you bewilder him.
I cannot think the devil may own a woman's soul, Mr. Hale, when she keeps an upright way as I have. I am a good woman. I know it. And if you believe I may do only good work in the world and yet be secretly bound to Satan, then I must tell you, sir, I do not believe it.
But, woman, you do believe there are witches in the...
If you think that I am one, then I say there are none.
You surely do not fly against the gospel. The gospel!
She believed in the gospel, every word.
Question Abigail Williams about the gospel, not myself.
You do not mean to doubt the gospel, sir. You cannot think it. She be a Christian house. This be a Christian house, sir. A Christian house.
God keep you both. Let the third child be quickly baptized, and go you without fail each Sunday into Sabbath prayer, and keep a solemn, quiet way among you, I think.
Enter Corey.
John,
Giles, what's the matter?
they take my wife and Rebecca nurse.
Rebecca's in jail?
John! Cheever has come and take her in his wagon. We've only now come from the jail, and they're not even let us in to see them.
They've surely gone wild now, Mr. Hale.
Look, Reverend Hale, can you not speak to the deputy governor? I am sure he mistakes these people.
Pray calm yourself, Mr. Nurse.
Calm myself. My wife is the very brick and mortar of the church. Right, Mr. Hale and Martha Corey, there cannot be a woman closer yet to God than Martha.
How is Rebecca charged, Mr. Nurse?
For murder she's charged, for the marvelous and supernatural murder of Goody Putnam's babies. What am I to do, Mr. Hale?
Believe me, sir, if Rebecca Nurse be tainted, then nothing's left to stop the whole green world from burning. Let you rest upon the justice of the court. The court will send her home. I know it.
No, you cannot mean that she will be tried in the court?
How may such a woman murder children?
Man, remember, until an hour before the devil fell, God thought him beautiful in heaven.
I never said my wife were a witch, Mr. Hale. I only said she were reading books.
Mr. Corey, exactly what complaint were made on your wife?
That bloody mongrel Walcott charged her. You see, he buy a pig of my wife 4 or 5 years ago, and the pig died soon after. So he come dancing in for his money back. So my Martha, she says to him, Walcott, if you haven't the wit to feed a pig properly, you'll not live to own many, she says. Now he goes to court and claims that from that day to this, he cannot keep a pig alive for more than 4 weeks because my Martha bewitched them with her books.
Enter Cheever.
Good evening. Good evening to you, John Proctor.
Hi, Mr. Cheever. Good evening.
Good evening to you all. Good evening, Mr. Hale.
I hope you come not on business of the court.
I do, Proctor. I'm clerk of the court now, you know.
It's a pity, Ezekiel, that an honest tailor might have gone to heaven, must burn in hell. You'll burn for this. Do you know it?
Know yourself, I must do as I'm told. You surely know that, Giles, and I'd as lief you not be sending me to hell. I like not the sound of it, I tell you. I like not the sound of it. Now believe me, Proctor, how heavy be the law, all its tonnage I do carry on my back tonight. I have a warrant for your wife.
What? Say you a warrant for my wife? You said she were not charged.
I know nothing of it. When was she charged?
I am given 16 warrants tonight, sir. And she's one.
Who charged her?
By Abigail Williams charged her.
Abigail Williams. On what proof? What proof?
Mr. Proctor, I have little time. The court bid me search your house, but I like not to search a house. So will you hand me any poppets that your wife may keep here?
Poppets?
I never kept no poppets, not since I were a girl.
I spy a puppet, Goody Proctor.
Oh, why, this is Mary's.
Would you please give it me?
Has the court discovered a text in poppets now?
Do you keep any others in this house?
No, nor this one either till tonight. What signifies a puppet?
A puppet may signify. Now, woman, will you please come with me?
Will not. Fetch Mary here.
No, I am forbid to leave her from my sight.
You will leave her out of sight and out of mind, mister. Fetch Mary, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth goes out.
What signifies a puppet, Mr. Cheever?
Why, they say it may signify that she... why, this...
What's there?
Why... It's a needle. Willard, it's a needle.
What signifies a needle?
Why this go hard? This go hard with her, Proctor. I had my doubts, Proctor. I had my doubts, but here's calamity. You see, sir, it's a needle.
Why? What meaning has it?
The girl, the Williams girl, Abigail Williams, sir. She sat to dinner in Reverend Parris's house tonight, and without word nor warning, she falls to the floor like a stuck beast, she says, and screamed like a bull would to hear her. And he goes to save her and stuck 2 inches in the flesh of her belly. He draw a needle out and demanded of her how she come to be so stabbed. She testified it were your wife's familiar spirit pushing it in.
What? She's done it herself. I hope you're not taking this for proof, Mr. Hale.
Tis hard proof. I find here a poppet Goody Proctor keeps. I have found it, sir. And in the belly of the poppet, a needle stuck. I tell you true, Proctor, I never warranted to see such proof of hell. And I bid you obstruct me not, for I am the law.
Mary, how did this poppet come into my house?
What poppet's that, sir?
This poppet? This poppet?
Why, I think it's mine.
It is your poppet, is it not?
It is, sir.
And how did it come into this house?
Why, I made it in court, sir. Give it to Goody Proctor tonight.
Now, sir, do you have it?
Mary Warren, a needle have been found inside this poppet.
Why, I meant no harm by it, sir.
Stuck that needle in yourself.
I believe I did, sir.
Say you now.
Child, you are certain this be your natural memory. May it be perhaps that someone conjures you even now to say this?
Conjures me? Why, no, sir, I'm entirely myself, I think. Let you ask Susanna Walcott. She saw me sewing it in court. Ask Abby. Abby sat beside me when I made it.
Bid him be gone, mister. Your mind is surely settled now. Bid him out, mister.
What signifies a needle?
Mary, you charge a cold and cruel murder on Abigail.
Murder? I charge no murder.
Abigail were stabbed tonight. A needle were found stuck into her belly.
And she charges me?
Aye.
Why, this girl is a murderer. She must be ripped out of the world.
You heard that, sir. Ripped out of the world. Willard, you heard it.
Out with you.
Proctor, you dare not touch the warrant.
Out with you.
You've ripped the deputy governor's warrant, man.
Damn the deputy governor. Out of my house.
Now, Proctor.
Hey, you gone with him. You are a broken minister.
Proctor, if she is innocent, the court will...
If she is innocent, why do you ever wonder if Paris be innocent or Abigail? Is the accuser always holy now? Were they born this morning as clean as God's fingers? I tell you what walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. We are what we were in Salem, what we always were. But now this little crazy children are jangling the keys of the kingdom, and common vengeance writes the law. This warrants vengeance, and I will not give my wife to vengeance.
I'll go, John.
No, you will not go.
John, I have 9 men outside. You cannot keep her. The law binds me, John. I cannot budge.
You will see her be taken.
Proctor, the court is just.
Pontius Pilate, God will not let you wash your hands of this.
John, I think I must go with them. Mary, there is enough bread for the morning. You will bake in the afternoon. Help Mr. Proctor as you were his daughter. You owe me that, and much more. When the children wake, speak nothing of witchcraft. It will frighten them.
I will bring you home. I will bring you home soon.
Oh, John, bring me soon.
I will fall like an ocean on that court. Fear nothing, Elizabeth.
I will fear nothing.
Cheever and Willard exit.
Tell the children. Tell the children I have gone to visit someone sick.
She breaks off.
Willard, don't chain. Damn you, man. Will you not chain her? Off with him. I'll not have it. I will not have her chained.
And yet silent, minister? It is fraud, and you know it is fraud. What keeps you, man?
I pray you, Willard, I will surely pay you.
In God's name, John, I cannot help myself. I must chain them all. Now let you keep inside this house till I am gone. Man, are you blind?
Mr. Proctor. Charity, Proctor, charity. What I have heard in her favor, I will not fear to testify in court. God help me, I cannot judge her guilty nor innocent. I know not. Only this consider, the world goes mad, and it profit nothing you should lay the cause to the vengeance of a little girl.
You are a coward. Though you be ordained in God's own tears, you are a coward now.
Proctor, I cannot think God be provoked so grandly by such a petty cause. The jails are packed. Our greatest judges sit in Salem now, and hangings promised. Man, we must look to cause proportionate. Were there murder done, perhaps, and never brought to light? Abomination? Some secret blasphemy that stinks to heaven? Think on cause, man, and let you help me to discover it. For there's your way, believe it, there is your only way when such confusion strikes upon the world. Let you counsel among yourselves, think on your village and what may have drawn from heaven such thundering wrath upon you all. I shall pray God opens up our eyes.
Hale goes out.
I never heard no murder done in Salem.
Leave me, Francis, leave me.
Nurse exits.
John, tell me, are we lost?
Go home now, Giles. We'll speak on it tomorrow.
Let you think on it. We'll come early, eh?
Aye. Go now, Giles.
Good night, then.
Corey goes out.
Proctor? Very likely they'll let her come home once they're given proper evidence.
You're coming to the court with me, Mary. You will tell it in court.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
You will tell the court how that puppet came here and who stuck the needle in.
She'll kill me for saying that. Abby will charge lechery on you, Mr. Proctor.
She's told you.
I have known it, sir. She'll ruin you with it. I know she will.
Good. Then her saintliness is done with. We will slide together into our pit. You will tell the court what you know.
I cannot. They'll turn on me.
My wife will never die for me. I will bring your guts into your mouth, but that goodness will not die for me.
I cannot do it. I cannot.
Make your peace with it. Now hell and heaven grapple on our backs and all our old pretenses ripped away. Make your peace.
I cannot.
Peace! It is a providence and no great change. We are what we always were, but naked now, I naked.
I cannot.
And the wind, God's icy wind, will blow.
curtain.
Hi, everyone. We are going to take a 5-minute intermission, and we will be back with Act 3 in just a moment. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you had a lovely intermission. We sure did. And we are now moving forward with Act 3 of The Crucible. Enjoy. We're just waiting for a few members of our cast to rejoin from the break room. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Great. Courtney, take it away.
Act 2, Scene 1. A wood night. Proctor enters. Abigail appears.
Must speak with you, Abigail. Will you sit?
How do you come?
Friendly.
I don't like the woods at night. Pray you stand closer. I knew it must be you. When I heard the pebbles on my window, before I opened my eyes, I knew. I thought you would come a good time sooner.
I had thought to come many times.
Why didn't you? I am so alone in the world now.
Are you? I've heard the people ride 100 miles to see your face these days.
Aye, my face. Can you see my face?
Then you're troubled?
Have you come to mock me?
No. But I hear only that you go to the tavern every night and play shovelboard with the deputy governor and give you cider.
I have once or twice played the shovelboard, but I have no joy in it.
This is a surprise, Abby. I thought to find you gayer than this. I'm told a troop of boys go step for step with you, wherever you walk these days.
Aye, they do. But I have only lewd looks from the boys.
You like that now?
I cannot bear lewd looks no more, John. My spirit's changed entirely. I ought to be given godly looks when I suffer for them as I do.
Oh, how do you suffer, Abby?
Why, look at my leg. I'm holes all over from their damned needles and pins. The jab your wife gave me is not yet healed.
Oh, it isn't.
I think sometimes she pricks it open while I sleep. And George Jacobs? He comes again and again and raps me with his stick, the same spot every night all this week. Look at the lump I have.
Abby, George Jacobs is in the jail all this month.
Thank God he is, and bless the day he hangs and lets me sleep in peace again. Oh, John, the world's so full of hypocrites. They pray in jail. I'm told they all pray in jail.
They may not pray.
And torture me in my bed while sacred words are coming from their mouths. Oh, it will need God himself to cleanse this town properly.
Abby, you mean to cry out still others?
If I live, if I am not murdered, I surely will until the last hypocrite is dead.
Then there is no one good.
Aye, there is one. You are good.
Am I? How am I good?
Why, you taught me goodness, therefore you are good. It were a fire you walked me through, John, and all my ignorance was burned away. It were a fire, John, we lay in fire. And from that night, no woman dare call me wicked anymore, but I knew my answer. I used to weep for my sins when the wind lifted up my skirts, and blushed for shame because some old Rebecca called me loose. And then you burned my ignorance away. As bare as some December tree, I saw them all, walking like saints to church, running to feed the sick, and hypocrites in their hearts. And God gave me strength to call them liars. And God made men listen to me. And by God, I will scrub the world clean for the love of him. Oh, John, I will make you such a wife when the world is white again. You will be amazed to see me every day, a light of heaven in your home. Why are you cold?
My wife goes to trial in the morning, Abigail.
Your wife?
Surely you know of it.
I do remember it now. How is she well?
As well as she may be, 36 days in that place.
You said you came friendly.
She will not be condemned, Abby.
You brought me from my bed to speak of her.
I come to tell you, Abby, what I will do tomorrow in the court. I will not take you by surprise, but give you all good time to think on what to do to save yourself.
Save myself?
If you do not free my wife tomorrow, I am set and bound to ruin you, Abby.
How? Ruin me?
I have rocky proof in documents that you knew that Puppet were none of my wife's, and that you yourself bade Mary Warren stab that needle into it.
I bade Mary Warren?
You know what you do. You are not so mad.
Oh, hypocrites. Have you won him too? John, why do you let them send you?
I warn you, Abby.
They send you, they'll steal your honesty and make you...
I have found my honesty.
No, this is your wife pleading, your sniveling, envious wife. This is Rebecca's voice, Martha Corey's voice. You were no hypocrite.
I will prove you for the fraud you are.
And if they ask you why Abigail would ever do such a murderous deed, what will you tell them?
I will tell them why.
What will you tell? You will confess to fornication in the court?
If you will have it so I will tell it. I say I will. If you can still hear this. Can you hear? You will tell the court you are blind to spirits. You cannot see them anymore, and you will never cry witchery again, or I will make you famous for the whore you are.
Never in this world. I know you, John. You are this moment singing secret hallelujahs that your wife will hang.
Murderous bitch.
Oh, how hard it is when pretense falls. But it falls. You have done your duty by her. I hope it is your last hypocrisy. I pray you will come again with sweeter news for me. I know you will, now that your duty to her is done. Good night, John. Fear not, I will save you tomorrow. From yourself, I will save you.
She is gone. Scene 2. The vestry room of the meeting house. The stage is empty, but we hear off stage.
Now, Martha Corey, there is abundant evidence in our hands to show that you have given yourself to the reading of fortunes. Do you deny it?
I am innocent to a witch. I know not what a witch.
How do you know then that you are not a witch?
If I were, I would know it.
Why do you hurt these children?
I do not hurt them. I scorn it.
I have evidence for the court.
You will keep your seat.
Thomas Putnam is reaching out for land.
Remove that man. Marshal.
You're hearing lies, lies.
Arrest him, Excellency.
I have evidence. Why will you not hear my evidence? Hands off, damn you, let me go.
Giles! Giles!
Out of my way, Willard. I bring evidence.
You cannot go in there, Giles. It's a court.
Pray, be calm a moment.
You, Mr. Hale, go in there and demand I speak.
A moment, sir, a moment.
They'll be hanging my wife.
Hawthorne enters, nurse enters.
How dare you come roaring into this court? Are you gone daft, Corey?
You're not a Boston judge yet, Hathorne. You'll not call me daft.
Who is this man?
Giles Corey, sir, and more contentious.
I am asked the question, and I am old enough to answer it. My name is Corey, sir, Giles Corey. I have 600 acres and timber in addition, and it is my wife you be condemning now.
And how do you imagine to help her cause with such contemptuous riot? Now be gone. Your old age alone keeps you out of jail for this.
They're telling lies about my wife, sir.
Then you take it upon yourself to decide what this court shall believe and what it shall set aside?
Your Excellency, we mean no disrespect for...
Disrespect indeed. It is disruption, mister. This is the highest court of the supreme government of this province. Do you know it?
Your Excellency, I only said she were reading books, sir. And they come and take her out of my house for...
What books? What?
It is my third wife, sir. And I never had no wife that be so taken with books. You understand, sir? And I thought to find the cause of it, you see. But it were no witch I blamed her for. I have broke charity with the woman. I have broke charity with her.
Excellency, he claims hard evidence for his wife's defense. I think that in all justice, you must.
Then let him submit his evidence in proper affidavit. You are certainly aware of our procedure here, Mr. Hale. Clear this room.
Come now, Giles.
Look, we are desperate, sir. We are desperate. We come here 3 days now and cannot be heard.
Who is this man?
Francis Nurse, Your Excellency.
His wife's Rebecca, that worked.
Indeed. I am amazed to find you in such uproar. I have only good report of your character, Mr. Nurse.
I think they must both be arrested in contempt, sir.
Let you write your plea, and in due time,
Excellency, Excellency, listen, we have proof for your eyes. I mean, God forbid you shut them to it. The girls, sir, the girls are frauds.
What?
We have proof of it, sir. They are all deceiving you.
This is contempt, sir. Contempt.
Peace, Judge Hawthorne. Do you know who I am, Mr. Nurse?
I surely do, sir, yes. And I think you must be a wise judge to be what you are.
And do you know that near to 400 are in the jails from Marblehead to Lean, and upon my signature, and 72 condemned to hang by that signature?
Excellency, I never thought to say it to such a weighty judge, but you are deceived.
Mary Warren, what are you about here?
John Proctor, sir. Wait, sorry. She would speak with the deputy governor.
Did you not tell me Mary Warren were sick in bed?
She were, Your Honor. When I go to fetch her to the court last week, she said she were sick.
She has been striving with her soul all week, Your Honor. She comes now to tell the truth to you.
Who is this?
John Proctor, sir. Elizabeth Proctor is my wife.
Beware this man, Your Excellency. This man is mischief.
I think you must hear the girl, sir. She...
Peace! What would you tell us, Mary Warren?
She never saw no spirits, sir.
Never saw no spirits?
Never.
She has signed a deposition, sir.
No, I accept no depositions. Tell me, Mr. Proctor, have you given out this story in the village?
We have not.
They've come to overthrow the court, sir. This man...
I pray you, Mr. Paddis. Do you know, Mr. Proctor, that the entire contention of the state in these trials is that the voice of heaven is speaking through the children?
I know that, sir.
And you, Mary Warren, how came you to cry out people for sending their spirits against you?
It were pretense, sir.
I cannot hear you.
It were pretense, she says.
Ah? And the other girls, Susanna Walcott and the others, they are also pretending?
Aye, sir.
Indeed. Now, Mr. Proctor, before I decide whether I shall hear you or not, it is my duty to tell you this. We burn a hot fire here. It melts down all concealment. Are you certain in your conscience, mister, that your evidence is the truth?
Is, and you will surely know it.
I take it that you came here to declare this revelation in the open court before the public.
I thought I would, with your permission.
Now, sir, what is your purpose in so doing?
Why, I would free my wife, sir.
There lurks nowhere in your heart, nor hidden in your spirit, any desire to undermine this court.
Why, no, sir.
I tell you straight, mister, I have seen marvels in this court. I have seen people choked before my eyes by spirits. I have seen them stuck by pins and slashed by daggers. I have, until this moment, not the slightest reason to suspect that the children may be deceiving me. Do you understand my meaning?
Excellency, does it not strike upon you that so many of these women have lived so long with such upright reputation?
You read the gospel, Mr. Proctor.
I read the gospel.
I think not. Or you should surely know that Cain were an upright man, and yet he did kill Abel.
Aye, God tells us that, but who tells us Rebecca Nurse murdered 7 babies by sending out her spirit on them? It is the children only. And this one will swear she lied to you.
Judge Hawthorne.
Aye. She's the one.
Mr. Proctor, this morning your wife sent me a claim in which she states that she is pregnant now.
My wife pregnant?
There be no sign of it. We have examined her body.
But if she says she is pregnant, then she must be. That woman will never lie, Mr. Danforth.
She will not.
Never, sir, never.
Mr. Proctor, if I should tell you now that I would let her be kept another month, and if she began to show her natural signs, you shall have her living yet another year until she is delivered. What say you to that? Come now, you say your only purpose is to save your wife. Good then. She is saved at least this year, and a year is long. What say you, sir? It is done. Now, will you drop this charge?
I think I cannot.
Then your purpose is somewhat larger.
He's come to overthrow this court, Your Honor.
These are my friends. Their wives are also.
I judge you not, sir. Sit down. I am ready to hear your evidence.
I come not to hurt the court. I only...
Marshal, go into the court and bid Judge Stoughton and Judge Sewall declare recess for 1 hour and let them go to the tavern if they will. All witnesses and prisoners are to be kept in the building.
If you'll forgive me, sir. I've known him all my life. It is a good man, sir.
I'm sure of it, Marshal. Now, what deposition do you have for us, Mr. Proctor? And I beg you, be clear, open as the sky, and honest.
I am no lawyer, sir, so I'll...
Pure in heart need no lawyers. Proceed as you will.
Will you read this first, sir? It's a sort of testament. The people signing it declare their good opinion of Rebecca and my wife and Martha Corey.
Their good opinion.
These are all covenant people, landholding farmers, members of the church. If you'll notice, sir, they've known the women many years and never saw no sign they had dealings with the devil.
How many names are here?
91, Your Excellency.
These people should be summoned for questioning.
Mr. Danforth, I gave them all my word. No harm would come to them for signaling this.
This is a clear attack upon the court.
Is every defense an attack upon the court? Can no one...
All innocent and Christian people are happy for the courts in Salem. These people are gloomy for it. And I think you will want to know from each and every one of them what discontents them with you.
I think they ought to be examined.
It is not necessarily an attack, I think.
These are all covenanted Christians, sir.
I am sure they have nothing to fear. Mr. Cheever, have warrants drawn for all these. Arrest for examination.
Cheever exits.
Now, mister, what other information do you have for us? You may sit, Mr. Nurse.
I have brought trouble on these people, I have.
No, old man, you have not hurt these people if they are of good conscience. But you must understand, sir, that a person is either with this court or he must be counted against it. There be no road between. This is a sharp time now, a precise time. We live no longer in the dusky afternoon when evil mixed itself with good and befuddled the world. Now, by God's grace, the shining sun is up, and them that fear not light will surely praise it. I hope you will be one of those. Huh? She's not hearty, this Mary, I see.
No, she's not, sir. Now remember what the angel Raphael said to the boy Tobias. Remember it. Do that which is good, and no harm shall come to thee.
Come, man, we wait you.
John, my deposition. Give him mine.
This is Mr. Corey's deposition.
Oh?
What lawyer drew this, Corey?
You know I never hired no lawyer in my life, Hawthorne.
It is very well phrased. My compliments. Mr. Pattis, if Mr. Putnam is in the court, bring him in.
Harris exits.
You have no legal training, Mr. Court.
I have the best, sir. I am 33 times in court in my life, and always plaintiff, too.
Oh, then you're much put upon.
I am never put upon. I know my rights, sir, and I will have them. You know, your father tried a case of mine, might be 35 years ago, I think.
Indeed.
He never spoke to you of it?
No, I cannot recall it.
That's strange. He gave me £9 damages. You were a fair judge, your father. You see, I had a white mare that time, and this fellow come to borrow the mare.
Putnam enters.
Aye, there he is.
Mr. Putnam, I have here an accusation by Mr. Cordy against you. He states that you coldly prompted your daughter to cry witchery upon George Jacobs, that is now in jail.
It is a lie.
Mr. Putnam states that your charge is a lie. What say you to that?
A fart on Thomas Putnam. That is what I say to that.
What proof do you submit for your charge, sir?
My proof is there. If Jacobs hangs for a witch, he forfeit up his property. That's law. And there is none but Putnam with the coin to buy so great a piece. This man is killing his neighbors for their land.
But proof, sir, proof.
The proof is there. I have it from an honest man who heard Putnam say it. The day his daughter cried out on Jacobs, he said she'd give him a fair gift of land.
And the name of this man?
What name?
The man that gave you this information.
Why, I cannot give you his name.
And why not?
You know well why not. He'll lay in jail if I give his name.
This is contempt of court, Mr. Danforth.
You will surely tell us the name.
I will not give you no name. I mentioned my wife's name once, and I'll burn in hell long enough for that. I stand mute.
In that case, I have no choice but to arrest you for contempt of this court. Do you know that?
This is a hearing. You cannot clap me for contempt of a hearing.
Oh, it is a proper lawyer. Do you wish me to declare the court in full session here? Or will you give me good reply?
I cannot give you no name, sir. I cannot.
You are a foolish old man. Mr. Chiva, begin the record. The court is now in session. I ask you, Mr. Cordy.
Your Honor, he has the story in confidence, sir, and he...
The devil lives on such confidences. Without confidences, there could be no conspiracy, Your Honor.
I think it must be broken, sir.
Old man, if your informant tells the truth, let him come here openly like a decent man. But if he hides in anonymity, I must know why. Now, sir, the government and Central Church demand of you the name of him who reported Mr. Thomas Putnam a common murderer.
Excellency.
Mr. Hale.
We cannot blink it more. There is a prodigious fear of this court in the country.
Then there is a prodigious guilt in the country. Are you afraid to be questioned here?
I may only fear the Lord, sir, but there is fear in the country nevertheless.
Reproach me not with the fear in the country. There is fear in the country because there is a moving plot to topple Christ in the country.
But it does not follow that everyone accused is part of it.
No uncorrupted man may fear this court, Mr. Hale. None. Mr. Cordy, you are under arrest and contempt of this court. Now sit you down and take counsel with yourself, or you will be set in the jail until you decide to answer all questions.
Oh, Giles!
I'll cut your throat, Putnam. I'll kill you yet.
Peace, peace! We'll prove ourselves now. We will.
Say nothing more, John. He's only playing you. He means to hang us all.
This is a court of law, mister. I'll have no effrontery here.
Forgive him, sir, for his old age. Peace. Giles, we'll prove it all now.
Putnam exits.
You cannot weep, Mary. Remember, The angel, what he says to the boy, hold to it. Now, there's your rock. This is Mary Warren's deposition. I would ask you remember, sir, while you read it, that until 2 weeks ago, she were no different than the other children are today. You saw her scream. She howled. She swore familiar spirits choked her. She even testified that Satan, in the form of women now in jail, tried to win her soul away. And then when she refused,
we know all this.
Why, sir, she swears now that she never saw Satan, nor any spirit, vague or clear, that Satan may have sent to hurt her, and she declares her friends are lying now.
Excellency, I think this goes to the heart of the matter, sir.
It surely does.
I cannot say he is an honest man. I know him little. But in all justice, sir, a claim so weighty cannot be argued by a farmer. In God's name, sir, stop here. Send him home and let him come again with a lawyer.
Now look you, Mr. Hale.
Excellency, I have signed 72 death warrants. I am a minister of the Lord, and I dare not take a life without their so immaculate. Slightest qualm of conscience may doubt it.
Mr. Hale, you surely do not doubt my justice.
I have this morning signed away the soul honor. I'll not conceal it. I tell you true, sir. My hands shake yet as with a wound. I pray you, sir, this argument let lawyers present to you.
Mr. Hale, believe me, for such a man of such terrible learning, you are most bewildered. I hope you will forgive me. I have been 32 years at the bar, sir, and I should be confounded were I called upon to defend these people. Let you consider now, and I bid you all do likewise. In an ordinary crime, how does one defend the accused? One calls up witnesses to prove his innocence. But witchcraft is ipso facto on its face and by its nature an invisible crime. Therefore, who may possibly be witness to it? The witch and the victim, none other. Now, we could not hope the witch will accuse herself, granted. Therefore, we must rely upon her victims, and they do testify. The children certainly do testify. As for the witches, none will deny that we are most eager for their confessions. Therefore, what is left for a lawyer to bring out? I think I have made my point. Have I not?
But this child not
That is precisely what I am about to consider, sir. What more may you ask of me? Unless you doubt my probity.
I surely do not, sir. Let you consider it then.
And let you put your heart to rest. A deposition, Mr. Proctor.
I should like to question.
Mr. Pattis, I bid you be silent. Sit you down. Mr. Proctor, you sit there. Mr. Chiva, will you go into the court and bring the children here? Mary Warren, how came you to this turnabout? Has Mr. Proctor threatened you for this deposition?
No, sir.
Has he ever threatened you?
No, sir.
Has he threatened you?
No, sir.
Then you tell me that you sat in my court callously lying when you knew that people were paying by your evidence? Answer me.
I did, sir.
How were you instructed in your life? Do you not know that God damns all liars? Or is it now that you lie?
No, sir. I am with God now.
You are with God now.
Aye, sir.
I will tell you this. Either you are lying now or you are lying in the court. In either case, you have committed perjury and you will go to jail for it. You could not lightly say you lied, Mary. Do you know that?
I cannot lie no more. I am with God. I am with God.
Enter Cheever, Susanna Walcott, Mr. Lewis, and finally Abigail.
Ruth Putnam's not in the court, sir, nor the other children.
These will be sufficient. Sit you down, children.
Willard enters.
Your friend, Mary Warden, has given us a deposition in which she swears that she never saw familiar spirits, apparitions, nor any manifest of the devil. She claims as well that none of you have seen these things either. Now, children, this is a court of law, the law based upon the Bible, and the Bible writ by Almighty God forbid the practice of witchcraft and describe death as the penalty thereof. But likewise, children, the law and Bible damn all liars and bearers of false witness. Now then, it does not escape me that this deposition may be devised to blind us. It may well be that Mary Warden has been conquered by Satan, who sends her here to distract our sacred purpose. If so, her neck will break for it. But if you speak true, I bid you now drop your guile and confess your pretense, for a quick confession will go easier with you. Abigail Williams, rise. Is there any truth in this?
No, sir.
Children, a very augur bit will now be turned into your souls until your honesty is proved. Will either of you change your positions now, or do you force me to hard questioning?
I have not to change, sir. She lies.
You would still go on with this?
Aye, sir.
A pulpit were discovered in Mr. Proctor's house, stabbed by a needle. Mary Warden claims that you sat beside her in the court when she made it, and that you saw her make it and witnessed how she herself stuck her needle into it for safekeeping. What say you to that?
It is a lie, sir.
While you worked for Mr. Proctor, did you see pulpits in that house?
Goody Proctor always kept puppets.
Your Honor, my wife kept no puppets. Mary Warren confesses it was her puppet.
Your Excellency.
Mr. Cheever.
When I spoke with Goody Proctor in that house, she said she never kept no puppets. But she said she did keep puppets when she were a girl.
She has not been a girl these 15 years, Your Honor.
But a puppet will keep 15 years, will it not?
Keep if it's kept, but Mary Warren swears she never saw no puppets in my house, nor anyone else.
Why could there not have been puppets hid where no one ever saw them?
Might also be 2 golden candlesticks in my house, but no one ever saw them.
We are here, Your Honor, precisely to discover what no one has ever seen.
Mr. Danforth, what profit Mary Warren to turn herself about? What may she gain but hard questioning and worse?
You are charging Abigail Williams with a marvelous coup plot to murder? Do you understand that?
I do, sir. I believe she means to murder.
This child would murder your wife?
It's not a child, sir. Now hear me, sir. The sight of the congregation, she were twice this year put out of this meeting house for laughter during prayer.
What's this? laughter during prayer?
Excellency.
Do you deny it, Mr. Paris?
I do believe it happened once. She is sometimes silly, but she is solemn now.
Aye, now she is solemn and goes to hang people.
Quiet, man.
Surely it have no bearing on the question, sir. He charges contemplation of murder.
Aye. But it strikes hard upon me that she will laugh at prayer. Continue, Mr. Proctor.
Mary, now tell the governor how you danced in the woods.
Excellency, since I came to Salem, this man is blackening my name. He...
In a moment, sir. What is this? Dancing?
Mr. Proctor?
Abigail leads the girls to the woods, Your Honor, and they have danced there, naked.
Your Honor, this is...
Mr. Paris discovered them there in the dead of night. There's the child she is.
Mr. Paris!
I can only say, sir, that I never found any of them naked. And this man is...
discovered them dancing in the woods? Abigail?
Excellency, when I first arrived from Beverly, Mr. Paris told me that.
Do you deny it, Mr. Paris?
I do not, sir, but I never saw any of them naked.
But she have danced?
Aye, sir.
Excellency, you will permit me?
Pray, proceed.
You say you never saw no spirits, Mary. Were never threatened or afflicted by any manifest of the devil or the devil's agents.
No, ma'am.
And yet, when people accused of witchery confronted you in court, you would faint, saying their spirits came out of their bodies and choked you.
That were pretense, ma'am.
I could not hear you.
Pretense, sir?
But you did turn cold, did you not? I myself picked you up many times, and your skin were icy. Mr. Danforth, you...
I saw that many times.
She only pretended to faint, Your Excellency. They're all marvelous pretenders.
Then can she pretend to faint now?
Now?
Why not? Now there are no spirits attacking her, for none in this room is accused of witchcraft. So let her turn herself cold, now. Let her pretend she is attacked, now. Let her faint. Faint.
Faint.
Aye, faint. Prove to us how you pretended in the court so many times.
I cannot now, sir.
Pretend it.
I cannot. I have no sense of it now.
Why? What is lacking now?
I cannot tell, sir.
Might it be that here we have no afflicting spirit loose, but in the court there were some?
I saw no spirits.
Then see no spirits now, and prove to us that you can faint by your own will, as you claim.
I cannot do it, sir.
You will confess, will you not? Attacking spirits made you to faint.
No, sir,
Your Excellency, this is a trick to blind the court.
It's not a trick. I used to faint because I thought I saw spirits.
Thought you saw them?
But I did not, Your Honor.
How could you think you saw them unless you saw them?
I cannot tell how, but I did. I heard the other girls screaming, and you, Your Honor, you seemed to believe them, and it were only sport at the beginning, sir, but then the whole world cried, spirits, spirits, and I promise you, Mr. Danforth, I only thought I saw them, but I did not.
Surely Your Excellency is not taken by this simple lie.
Abigail Williams, I bid you now, search your heart and tell me this, and beware of it, child. To God, every soul is precious, and his vengeance is terrible on them that take life without cause. Is it possible, child, that the spirits you have seen are illusion only, some deception that may cross your mind when you have...
This is a base question, sir.
Child, I would have you consider it.
I have been hurt, Mr. Danforth. I have seen blood running out. I have been near to murdered every day because I done my duty, pointing out the devil's people. And this is my reward? To be mistrusted, denied, questioned like a liar, and...
I do not mistrust you.
Let you beware, Mr. Danforth. Think you be so mighty that the power of hell may not turn your wits? Beware of it. There is...
What is it, child?
I know not. A wind! A cold wind has come.
Abby?
They're pretending.
She is cold, Your Honor. Touch her.
Mary?
Mary?
Do you send the shadow on me?
Lord, save me!
Free!
Abby, don't do that!
Mary Warren, do you witch her? I say to you, do you send your spirit out?
Let me go, Mr. Proctor. I cannot.
Oh, Heavenly Father, take away this shadow.
Whore, how do you dare call heaven?
Man, what do you...
It is a whore.
Now, here.
You charge?
Mr. Danforth, he's lying.
Mark her. Now she'll suck a scream to stab me with, but...
You will prove this. This will not pass.
I have known her, sir. I have known her.
You are a ledger?
John, no, you cannot possibly.
No, Francis, it is true. It is true. She will deny it, but you will believe me, sir. A man will not cast away his good name, sir. Surely you know that.
In what time? In what time? In what place?
In the proper place. Where my beasts are bedded 8 months now, sir. It is 8 months. She used to serve me in my house, sir. Men may think God sleeps, but God sees everything. I know it now. I beg you, sir. I beg you. See her what she is. My wife, my dear, good wife, took this girl soon after, sir, and put her out on the high road, and being what she is, a lump of vanity, sir. Excellency, forgive me. She thinks to dance with me on my wife's grave. And well, she might. For I thought of her softly, God help me, I lusted. And there is a promise in such sweat, but it is a whore's vengeance, and you must see it. I set myself entirely in your hands. I know you must see it now. My wife is innocent, except she know a whore when she see one.
You deny every scrap and tittle of this?
I must answer that, sir. I will leave and I will not come back again.
She does not deny it, Mr. Danforth. She does not deny it.
You will remain where you are. Sit you down. Mr. Pattis, go into the court and bring good wife Proctor out. Mr. Pattis, and tell her not one word of what's been spoken here, and let you knock before you enter.
Harris goes out.
Now, we shall touch the bottom of this swamp. Your wife, you say, is an honest woman?
Her life, sir, she has never lied. There are them that cannot sing, and them that cannot weep. My wife cannot lie.
And when she put this girl out of her house, she put her out for a harlot,
Aye, sir.
and knew her for a harlot.
She knew her for a harlot.
Good then. Abigail, if she tell me, child, it were for harlotry, may God spread his mercy on you. Hold! Hold! Turn your back. Turn your back. You do likewise. Now, let neither of you turn to face Goody Proctor. No one in this room is to speak one word or raise a gesture, aye or nay. Enter.
Elizabeth enters, followed by Paris.
Mr. Cheever, report this testimony in all exactness. Are you ready?
Ready, sir.
Come here, woman. Look at me only, not at your husband, in my eyes only.
Good sir.
We are given to understand that at one time you dismissed the servant Abigail Williams.
That is true, sir.
For what cause did you dismiss her? You will look in my eyes only and not at your husband. The answer is in your memory, and you need no help to give it to me. Why did you dismiss Abigail Williams?
She dissatisfied me.
In what way dissatisfied you?
She were...
Woman, look at me. Was she slovenly, lazy? What disturbance did she cause?
Your Honor, in that time I were sick, and my husband is a good and righteous man. He is never drunk, as some are, nor wasting his time at the shuffleboard, but always at his work. But in my sickness, you see, sir, I were a long time sick after my last baby, and I thought I saw my husband somewhat turning from me. And this girl...
Look at me!
Aye, sir. Abigail Williams.
What of Abigail Williams?
I came to think he fancied her. And so one night I lost my wits, I think, and put her out on the high road.
Your husband, did he indeed turn from you?
My husband is a goodly man, sir.
Then he did not turn from you.
He...
Look at me. To your own knowledge, has John Proctor ever committed the crime of lechery? Answer my question. Is your husband a lecher?
No, sir.
Remove her.
Elizabeth, tell the truth. Elizabeth!
She has spoken. Remove her.
Elizabeth, I have confessed it.
Oh, John.
I only thought to save my life.
Excellency, it is a natural lie to tell. I beg you, stop now before another is condemned. I may shut my conscience to it no more. Private vengeance is working through this testimony. From the beginning, this man has struck me true. I believe him now. By my oath to heaven, I believe him, and I pray you call back his wife before we...
She spoke nothing of lechery, and this man lies.
I believe him! I cannot turn my face from it no more. This girl has struck me false. She...
You will not! Be gone! Be gone!
What is it, child? What's there? Child? Girls, why do you...
It's on the beam! Behind the rafter!
Where?
Why? Why do you come, yellow bird?
Where's the bird? I see no bird.
My face? My face?
Mr. Hale.
Be quiet.
Do you see a bird?
Be quiet.
But God made my face. You cannot want to tear my face. Envy is a deadly sin, Mary. Oh, Mary, this is a black art to change your shape. No, I cannot stop my mouth. It is God's work I do.
Abby, I'm here.
They're pretending, Mr. Danforth.
Oh, please, Mary, don't come down.
Her claws! She's stretching her claws!
Mary, please don't hurt me.
I'm not hurting her.
Why does she see this vision?
You cannot believe them.
She sees nothing.
She sees nothing.
Abby, you mustn't.
Abby, you mustn't.
I'm here. I'm here.
I'm here. I'm here.
Maddie Warden, draw back your spirit out of them.
Mr. Danforth.
Mr. Danforth.
Have you compacted with the devil? Have
Never,
you?
never.
Never.
They only repeat you.
Give me the whip. I'll stop it.
They're sporting.
They're sporting.
They're sporting.
Abby, stop it.
Abby, stop it.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it.
A little while ago, you were afflicted. Now it seems you afflict others. Where did you find this power?
I have no power.
I have no power.
They're gulling you, mister.
Why did you turn about this past 2 weeks? You have seen the devil, have you not?
Mary, goddamns all liars.
You have seen the devil, you have made compact with Lucifer, have you not?
Goddamns liars, Mary.
I could not hear you. What do you say? You will confess yourself or you will hang. Do you know who I am? I say you will hang if you do not open with me.
Remember the angel Raphael. Do that which is good and...
Wings are spreading. Mary, please, don't. She's going to come down. She's walking the beam. Look out.
Mary, tell the governor what they...
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Mary!
You are the devil's man.
Praise God.
Mary, how?
I'll not hang with you. I love God. I love God.
He bid you do the devil's work?
He come to me by night and every day to sign his book.
Sign what?
Devil's book. He comes with a book.
My name. He wants my name. I'll murder you. He says, if my wife hangs, we mustn't go and overthrow the court, he says.
Master Hale.
He wakes me every night. His eyes were like coals and his fingers claw around my neck. And I sign.
Excellency, the child's gone wild.
Mary.
No! I love God. I go your way no more. I love God. I love God. Abby, I'll never hurt you again.
What are you? You are combined with Antichrist, are you not? I have seen your power, mister. You will not deny it.
This is not witchcraft. These girls are frauds. You condemn an honest man.
I will have nothing from you, Mr. Hale. Will you confess yourself, Mr. Proctor, befouled with hell, or do you keep that black allegiance yet? What say you?
I say, God is dead.
Hear it! Hear it!
A fire is burning. I hear the boot of Lucifer. I see his filthy face. And it is my face and yours, Danforth, for them that quail to bring men out of ignorance, as I have quailed, and as you now quail, when you know in all your black hearts that this be fraud. God damns our kind especially, and we will burn. We will burn together.
Marshal, take him and Cordy with him to the jail.
I denounce these proceedings. I quit this court.
Hale exits.
You are pulling heaven down, and raising up a whore.
Mr. Hale! Mr. Hale!
Curtain falls. Scene 3, 3 months later, a cell in Salem jail.
Sarah, wake up. Sarah, good. Tituba.
Oh, Majesty, come in, come in. Tituba, he's here. His Majesty's come.
Go to the north cell. This place is wanted now.
That don't look to me like His Majesty. That looked like the Marshal.
Get along with you now. Clear this place.
Oh, is it you, Marshal? I thought sure you be the devil coming for us. Could I have a sip of cider for me going away?
Where are you off to, Sarah?
We going to Barbados. Soon the devil gets here with the feathers and his wings.
Oh, a happy voyage to you.
A pair of bluebirds winging southerly, the two of us. Oh, it be a grand transformation, Marshal.
You'd best give me that or you'll never rise off the ground. Come along now.
I'll speak to him for you, if you desire to come along, Marshal.
I'd not refuse it, Tituba. It is the proper morning to fly into hell.
Oh, it ain't no hell in Barbados. Devil, him be pleasure man in Barbados. Him be singing and dancing in Barbados. You folks rouse him up around here. It'd be too cold around here for the old boy. He frees his soul in Massachusetts. But in Barbados, he just as sweet and, oh, yes, sir.
Oh, I'm here, Majesty.
Hopkins enters.
The deputy governor's arrived.
Come along, come along.
No, he coming for me. I going home.
That ain't Satan. It's a poor old cow with a hat full of milk. Come along now. Out with you.
Take me home, devil. Take me home.
Tell him I'm going, Tituba. Now you tell him Sarah Good is going too.
Take me home, devil. Devil, take me home.
Morning, Majesty. Dansford, Hawthorne enter, followed in by Cheever.
Good morning, Majesty.
Where is Mr. Pattis?
I'll fetch him.
Marshal, when did Reverend Hale arrive?
Went toward midnight, I think.
What is he about here?
He goes among them that will hang, sir, and he prays with them. He sits with Goody Nurse now, and Mr. Paris with him.
Indeed. That man have no authority to enter here. Marshal, why have you let him in?
What Mr. Paris commanded me, sir. I cannot deny him.
Are you drunk, Marshal?
No, sir, it is a bitter night and I have no fire here.
Fetch Mr. Pattis.
Aye, sir.
There is a prodigious stench in this place. there is a prodigious ditch in this place.
I have only just cleared it out, sir. For you.
Beware of hard drink, Marshal.
I, sir.
Let you question Hale, Excellency. I should not be surprised if he have been preaching in Andover lately.
We'll come to that. Speak nothing of Andover. Paris prays with him. That's strange.
I think sometimes Paris has a mad look these days.
Mad?
I met him yesterday coming out of his house, and I bid him good morning, and he wept and went his way. I think it is not well that the village sees him so unsteady.
Perhaps he have some sorrow.
I think it'd be the cows, sir.
The cows?
Well, there be so many cows wandering the high roads now. Their masters are in jail, and such disagreement who they will belong to now. I know Mr. Paris be arguing with farmers all yesterday. There was great contention, sir, about the cows. Contention make him weep, sir. It were always a man that weep for contention.
Paris enters.
Good morning, Judge. Thank you for coming. I beg your pardon waking you so early. Good morning, Judge Hawthorne.
Reverend Hale have no right to enter this.
Excellency, a moment.
Do you leave him alone with the prisoners?
What's his business here?
Excellency, hear me. It is a providence. Reverend Hale has returned to bring Rebecca Nurse to God.
He bids her confess?
Hear me. Rebecca have not given me a word this 3 months since she came. Now she sits with him and her sister and Martha Corey and 2 or 3 others, and he pleads with them, confess their crimes and save their lives.
Why, this is indeed a providence. And they soften? Soften?
Not yet, not yet. But I thought to summon you, sir, that we might think on whether it be not wise to. There is news, sir, that the court must reckon with. My niece, I believe she has vanished.
Vanished?
I had thought to advise you of it earlier in the week, but.
Why? How long is she gone?
This be the 3rd night Mercy Lewis is gone too.
I will send a party for them. Where may they be?
Excellency, I think they be aboard a ship. My daughter tells me now she heard them speaking of ships last week, and tonight I discover my strongbox is broken into.
She have robbed you?
£31 is gone. I'm penniless.
Mr. Paris, you are a brainless man.
Excellency, it profit nothing you should blame me. I cannot think they would run off except they fear to keep in Salem anymore, since the news of Andover has broken here.
Andover is remedy, sir. The court returns there on Friday and will resume examination.
I am sure of it, sir, but the rumor here speaks rebellion in Andover, and it...
There is no rebellion in Andover.
I tell you what is said here, sir. Andover have thrown out the court, they say, and they will have no part of witchcraft. There'll be a faction here feeding on that news, and I will tell you true, sir, I fear there will be a riot here.
Riot? Why, at every execution I have seen naught but high satisfaction in the town.
Judge Hawthorne, it were another sort that hanged till now. Rebecca Nurse is no Bridget that lived 3 years with Bishop before she married him. John Proctor is not Isaac Ward that drank his family to ruin. Let Rebecca stand upon the gibbet and send up some righteous prayer, and I fear she'll wake a vengeance on you.
Excellency, she is condemned a witch. court have.
What do you propose then?
Excellency, I would postpone these hangings for a time.
There will be no postponement.
Now, Mr. Hale's return, there is hope, I think. For if he bring even one of these to God, that confession surely damns the others to the public eye, and none may doubt more that they are all linked to hell. This way, unconfessed and claiming innocence, doubts are multiplied. Many honest people will weep for them, and our good purpose is lost in their tears.
Viva, give me the list.
It cannot be forgot, sir, that when I summoned the congregation for John Proctor's excommunication, there were hardly 30 people come to hear it. That speak of discontent, I think, and...
There will be no postponement.
Excellency!
Now, sir, which of these, in your opinion, may be brought to God? And I will myself strive with him till dawn.
There is not sufficient time till dawn.
I shall do my utmost. Which of them do you have hope for?
Excellency! A dagger.
What do you say?
Tonight, when I open my door to leave my house, a dagger clattered to the ground. You cannot hang this sort. There is danger for me. I dare not step outside at night.
Hale enters.
Accept my congratulations, Reverend Hale. We are gladdened to see you return to your good work.
You must pardon them. They will not budge.
You misunderstand, sir. I could not pardon these when 12 are already hanged for the same crime. It is not just.
Rebecca will not confess.
The sun will rise in a few minutes. Excellency, I must have more time.
Now hear me, and beguile yourselves no more. I will not receive a single plea for pardon or postponement. Them that will not confess will hang. 12 are already executed. The names of these 7 are given out, and the village expects to see them die at dawn. Postponement now speaks a floundering on my part. Reprieve or pardon must cast doubt upon the guilt of them that died till now. While I speak God's law, I will not crack its voice with whimpering. If retaliation is your fear, know this: I should hang 10,000 that dare to rise against the law, and an ocean of salt tears could not melt the resolution of the statutes. Now, draw yourselves up like men and help me as you are bound by heaven to do. Have you spoken with them all, Mr. Hale?
All the Proctor is in the dungeon.
What's Proctor's way now?
He sits like some great bird. You'd not know he lived except he takes food from time to time.
His wife must be well on with child now.
She is, sir.
What think you, Mr. Pattis? You have closer knowledge of this man. Might her presence soften him?
It is possible, sir. He had not laid eyes on her these 3 months. I should summon her.
Is he yet adamant? Has he struck at you again?
He cannot, sir. He is chained to the wall.
Fetch Goody Proctor to me. Then let you bring him up.
Aye, sir.
Willard goes out.
Excellency, if you postpone a week and publish to the town that you are striving for their confessions, that speak mercy on your part, not faltering.
Mr. Hale, as God have not empowered me like Joshua to stop this sun from rising, so I cannot withhold from them the perfection of their punishment.
If you think God wills you to raise rebellion, Mr. Danforth, you are mistaken.
You have heard rebellion spoken in Salem?
Excellency, there are orphans wandering from house to house. Abandoned cattle bellow on the high roads. The stink of rotting crops hangs everywhere, and no man knows when the harlot's cry will end his life. And you wonder yet if rebellion spoke? Better you should marvel how they do not burn your province.
Mr. Hale, have you preached in Andover this month?
Thank God they have no need of me in Andover.
You baffle me, sir. Why have you returned here?
Why, it is all simple. I come to do the devil's work. I come to counsel Christians they should belay themselves. There is blood on my head. Can you not see the blood on my head?
Hush!
Willard and Elizabeth enter, and Willard goes out again.
Goody Proctor, I hope you are hearty.
I am yet 6 months before my time.
I pray, be at your ease. We come not for your life. Mr. Hale, will you speak with the woman?
Goody Proctor, your husband is marked to hang this morning.
I have heard it.
You know, do you not, that I have no connection with the court? I come of my own, Goody Proctor. I would save your husband's life, for if he is taken, I count myself his murderer. Do you understand me?
What do you want of me?
Goody Proctor, I have gone this 3 month like our Lord into the wilderness. I have sought a Christian way, for damnation's doubled on a minister who counsels men to lie.
It is no lie. You cannot speak of lies.
It is a lie. They are innocent.
No more! No more! I'll hear no more of that.
Let you not mistake your duty as I mistook my own. I came into this village like a bridegroom to his beloved, bearing gifts of high religion, the very crowns of holy law. I brought, and what I touched with my bright confidence, it died, and where I turned the eye of my great faith, blood flowed up. Beware, Goody Proctor, cleave to no faith when faith brings blood. It is mistaken law that leads you to sacrifice. Life, woman, life is God's most precious gift. No more principle, however glorious, may justify the taking of it. I beg you, woman, prevail upon your husband to confess. Let him give his lie. Quail not before God's judgment in this, for it may well be God damns a liar less that he that throws his life away for pride. Will you plead with him? I cannot think he will listen to another.
I think that be the devil's argument.
Woman, before the laws of God we are as swine. We cannot read his will.
I cannot dispute with you, sir. I lack learning for it.
Goody Proctor, you are not summoned here for disputation. Be there no wifely tenderness within you? He will die with the sunrise. Your husband, do you understand it? What say you? Will you contend with him? Are you stoned? I tell you, true woman, had I no other proof of your unnatural life, your dry eyes now would be sufficient evidence that you delivered up your soul to hell. The very ape would weep at such calamity. Have the devil dried up any tear of pity in you? Take her out. It profit nothing she should speak to him.
Let me speak with him, Excellency.
You'll strive with him.
Will you plead for his confession or will you not?
I promise nothing. Let me speak with him.
Willard enters with Proctor.
Pray, leave them, Excellency.
Exits.
You have been notified, have you not? I see light in the sky, mister. Let you counsel with your wife, and may God help you turn your back on Hale.
If you desire a cup of cider, Mr. Proctor, I am sure God leads you now.
You have been chained.
Child. Child.
It grows.
There's no word of the boys?
They're well. Rebecca's Daniel keeps them.
Have you not seen them?
I have not.
You are a marvel, Elizabeth. They come for my life now.
I know it.
None have yet confessed.
There be many confessed.
Who are they?
There be 100 or more, they say. Goody Ballard is one. Isaiah Goodkind is one. There be many.
Rebecca?
Not Rebecca. She is 1 foot in heaven now. Naught may hurt her more.
And Giles?
You have not heard of it.
I hear nothing where I am kept.
Giles is dead.
When he hanged?
He were not hanged. He would not answer aye or nay to his indictment. For if he denied the charge, they'd hang him surely and auction out his property. So he stand mute and died Christian under the law. And so his sons will have his farm. It is the law, for he could not be condemned a wizard without he answer the indictment aye or nay.
And how does he die?
They press him, John.
Press?
Great stones they lay upon his chest until he plead aye or nay. They say he give them but 2 words. More weight, he says, and died.
More weight.
Aye. It was a fearsome man, Giles Corey.
I have been thinking I would confess to them. What say you if I give them that?
I cannot judge you, John.
What would you have me do?
As you will, I would have it. I want you living, John, that's sure.
Giles' wife, has she confessed?
She will not.
It's a pretense, Elizabeth.
What is?
I cannot mount the gibbet like a saint. It's a fraud. I'm not that man. My honesty is broke, Elizabeth. I am not a good man. I am nothing spoiled by giving them this lie that we're not rotten long before.
And yet you've not confessed till now. That speak goodness in you.
Spite. Only spite keeps me silent. It's hard to give a lie to dogs. I would have your forgiveness, Elizabeth.
It is not for me to give, John. I
would have you see some honesty in it. Let them that never lied die now to keep their souls. It is pretense for me, a vanity that will not blind God, nor keep my children out of the wind. What say you?
John, it come to naught that I should forgive you. Will you forgive yourself? It is your soul, John. Only be sure of this, for I know it now. Whatever you will do, it is a good man who does it. I have read my heart these 3 months, John. I have sins of my own to count. It needs a cold wife to prompt lechery.
Enough. It's That's enough.
Better you should know me.
I will not hear it. I know you.
You take my sins upon you, John.
Oh, I take my own.
I counted myself so plain, so poorly made, no honest love could come to me. Suspicion kissed you when I did. I never knew how I should say my love. It were a cold, cold house I kept.
Proctor enters.
What say you, Proctor? The sun is up.
Do what you will, but let none be your judge. There be no higher judge under heaven than Proctor is. Forgive me, John. Forgive me. I never knew such goodness in the world.
I want my life.
You'll confess yourself.
I will have my life.
God be praised. It is a providence. He will confess. Proctor will confess.
Why do you cry it? It is evil. It is not. Is it not? It is evil.
I cannot judge you, John. I cannot.
Then who will judge me? God in heaven, what is John Proctor? What is John Proctor? I think it is honest. I think so. I am no saint. I let Rebecca go like a saint. For me, it is fraud.
I am not your judge. I cannot be.
Would you give them such a lie? Say it. Would you ever give this? You would not. If tongues of fire were singeing you, you would not. It is evil. Good, then it is evil, and I do it.
Proctor enters with Danforth, Cheever, Paris, and Hale.
Praise to God, man. Praise to God. You shall be blessed in heaven for this. Now then, let us have it. Are you ready, Mr. Chiba?
I must.
Why?
Why?
Why must it be written? For the good instruction of the village, mister. This we shall post upon the church door. Where's the marshal?
Willard, hurry!
Now then, mister, will you speak slowly and directly to the point for Mr. Chiva's sake? Now, Mr. Proctor, have you seen the devil in your life? Come, man, there's light in the sky. The town waits at the scaffold. I will give out this news. Did you see the devil?
I did.
Praise God. And when he come to you, what were his demands? Did he bid you do his work upon the earth?
He did.
And you bound yourself to his services?
Rebecca and Willard enter.
Ah, Rebecca, nurse. Come in, woman.
But John, you are well then, huh?
Courage, man, courage. Let her witness your good example that she may come to God herself. Now hear it, goody nurse. Say on, Mr. Proctor. Did you bind yourself to the devil's service?
Wait, John.
Did.
Now, woman, you will surely see it profit nothing to keep this conspiracy any further. Will you confess yourself with him?
God, John, God send his mercy on you.
Take her out.
I say, will you confess yourself, goody nurse?
Why, it is a lie. It is a lie. How may I damn myself? I cannot. I cannot.
Mr. Proctor, when the devil came to you, did you see Rebecca Ness in his company? Come, man, take courage. Did you ever see her with the devil? Mr. Proctor, did you ever see her with the devil?
No.
Did you ever see her sister, Mary Eastie, with the devil?
No, I did not.
Did you ever see Martha Cordy with the devil?
I did not.
Did you ever see anyone with the devil?
I did not.
Proctor, you mistake me. I am not empowered to trade your life for a lie. You have most certainly seen some person with the devil. Mr. Proctor, a score of people have already testified they saw this woman with the devil.
Then it is proved. Why must I say it?
Why must you say it? Why, you should rejoice to say it, if your soul is purged of any love for hell.
They think to go like saints. I think not, to spoil their names.
Mr. Proctor, do you think they go like saints? Look, you sir, I think you mistake your duty here. It matters nothing what she thought. She is convicted of the unnatural murder of children, and you for sending your spirit out upon Mary Warden. Your soul alone is the issue here, mister, and you will prove its whiteness, or you cannot live in a Christian country. Will you tell me now what persons conspired with you in the devil's company? To your knowledge, was Rebecca Ness ever?
Speak my own sins. I cannot judge another. I have no tongue for it.
Excellency, it is enough he confess himself. Let him sign it. Let him sign it.
It is a great service, sir. It is a weighty name. It will strike the village that he confess. I beg you, let him sign it. The sun is up, Excellency.
Come then, sign your testimony. Mr. Chiva, take it to him. Come, man, sign it.
All witnessed it. It is enough.
You will not sign it.
You have all witnessed it. What more is needed?
Do you sport with me? You will sign your name, or it is no confession, mister. Your second name, man.
Praise be to the Lord.
You, please, sir, give it to me. Mr. Proctor, I must have the paper.
No, I have signed it. You have seen me. It is done. You have no need for this.
Proctor, the village must have proof that you...
Damn the village. I confess to God, and God has seen my name on this. It is enough.
No, sir, it is not.
You came to save my soul, did you not? Here, I have confessed myself. It is enough.
You have not confessed.
I have confessed myself. There's no good penitence, but it be public. God does not need my name nailed upon the church. God sees my name. God knows how black my sins are. It is enough.
Mr. Proctor!
Will not use me. I am no Sarah Good or Tituba. I am John Proctor. You will not use me. It is not part of salvation that you should use me.
I do not wish to use
I have 3 children. How may I teach them to walk like men in the world? And I sold my friends.
You have not sold your friends.
Beguile me not. I blacken all of them when this is nailed to the church, the very day they hang for silence.
Mr. Proctor, I must have good and legal proof that
You are the high court. Your word is good enough. Tell them I confessed myself. Say, Proctor broke his knees and wept like a woman. Say what you will, but my name cannot.
Is it the same? It is the same, is it not? If I report it or you sign to it.
No, it is not the same. What others say and what I sign to is not the same.
Why? Do you mean to deny this confession when you are free?
I mean to deny nothing.
Then explain to me, Mr. Proctor, why you would not let us...
Because it is my name. Because I cannot have another in my life. Because I lie to sign myself to lies. Because I am not worth the dust on the feet of them that hang. How may I live without my name? I have given you my soul. Leave my name.
Is that document a lie? If it is a lie, I will not accept it. What say you? I will not deal in lies, mister. You will give me your honest confession in my hand, or I cannot keep you from the rope. What way do you go, mister? You have torn the Marshal!
Proctor! Proctor!
Man, you will hang. You cannot.
God, it speaks some goodness for me. Give them no tear, show them a heart of stone, and sink them with it.
That you fear nothing. There is another judgment. Waits us all.
Hang them high over the town! Whoever weeps for these weeps for corruption! Take them!
Danforth exits. Hawthorne also exits.
Come, ma'am.
I've not had my breakfast.
Go to him. Goody Proctor. There's yet time. Proctor. Proctor.
Woman, plead with him. It is pride. It is vanity. Be his helper. What profit him to bleed? Shall the dust praise him? Shall the worms declare his truth? Go to him. Take his shame away.
Ye have his goodness now. God forbid I take it from him.
The curtain falls.
Yay! Bring everyone up for a curtain call. Everyone, please start your videos. You are still with us watching at home. Please put your hands together for this incredible cast. Thank you to all of you for making this incredibly powerful piece tonight. There's everyone. Wait, Sarah Good.
Oh.
One more. Sarah Good. Thomas Putnam. There we go. John Hale. And wave, wave, bow, take a bow, please.
Yay.
Great. Thank you all so much. I'm talking to you in the cast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For anyone who's still with us, this has been the Crucible. If anyone missed it at the beginning, we do hope to produce this early next year. God only knows when that may be possible, but we very much intend to move forward. We think Tolchin and Samantha Bowen, who helped me co-produce this reading tonight, and to everyone who jumped on. I just wanted to say the text to me is incredibly powerful, and it could be used at any time when communities are being conflicted and torn apart because of different beliefs. And I just hope that anyone who's listening tonight just not let lies and pride come between us and our friends and our communities, like what happened here. So please take that with you, and good night, and thanks for sticking with us. If you're on the East Coast, I know it's a late night, so please go home and get some sleep. And thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fun to
Thank
work
you.
with everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really great group.
Thanks so
Yeah.
much, Megan.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Night.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We can all have a drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of fun. Drink time, huh? Beer, wine.
Go in the break room. Let's meet in the break room.
Right, right.
In the break room.
I'm on West Coast time, so I have plenty of night left.
All right.